It's okay. Off your mind, it's okay. Off your mind,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Mayegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over Naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Aha. Mayegun la wa mola.
Hello there.
Mayegun la wa mola.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe.
You are welcome to the People's Parliament again on Mayegun's Diary Politico through that, medium called the Temple of Truth. And you can be part of it tonight, okay? Especially those of you who are Lagos Abobakus. You can also join, okay? Join like other people. To come and tell us what we probably don't know, okay? But to join this broadcaster tonight, first you need to like the broadcaster, share it, do all your parts, okay? Then the link to join in the studio and you can bring out your face. Don't be faceless, all right? Whatever things you have to say about Mayegun, you can come and say it to my face. At least I no go beat you. Abi, the link is in the is right there in the description. It is also in the comments. share the broadcast.
And yes, lórí Facebook. And yes, lórí YouTube. And yes, ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́. And yes, ijó ìgbádìyẹ. And yes, Presido Barufio. And yes,
read the caption of this broadcast. Read the description as well. Get yourself in tune into what this is going to be all about tonight. But to get all of us into the mood, I will start. And after, let's say, about half an hour to an hour, the studio will be open. And the parliamentarians can begin to show face, right? Share the broadcast.
And yes, Ojelu Esuraki. And yes,
So, good morning to you, and good afternoon to you, and good evening to you as well, from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun on the People's Parliament today, live. But just before the parliamentarians start popping up from all over the world to come and share their own personal views, opinions, and from whichever perspective they are going to bring this from tonight, as we do always on the People's Parliament, you are welcome to come and share your view. However, before we get to the part where the parliamentarians will be popping up here and there, I also need to get all of you up to date with what is going on in Nigeria. And it does help a lot of parliamentarians as well to have their own talking points and share their views. And most of the time, what you have to say doesn't really have to be what I am discussing or what I have shared. Whatever I say from now, whatever I do from now for the next hour, it is just to get you ready in the spirit as usual. So let's start picking them up. There is this new sort of article that just came out. I will call it article, but it's a write-up, all right? And it is from someone who happened to be a former student reporter from the Chicago State University. Now, probably caught the news of Kolu, the Chicago State University, Atifku, and the court case in the media. And as a former student, he was interested. Then he decided to share his view. It is like, well, at the end of it all, he actually called Tinubu the typical traditional Nigeria prince. And Chicago State University could actually be a victim of a Nigeria prince, a Nigeria scammer, who has now become the president of Nigeria. I'm going to read you that text. So that, I mean, you know me now. The reason why you have the diary is because we pay attention to every detail. Whatever you say, whatever you do, and whatever you don't say, but with what you do, we can put one and two together and indeed tell who you are and what you represent. In this instance, when it comes to the case of Nigeria. So on Mayegun's diary political, it is like your diary. Do you understand? You just come on and say, oh, I want to go and watch Mayegun's video. Once you see the title doesn't really capture everything in my video, right? But what it does is that when you open any video on Mayegun's diary political, old or new, it doesn't matter. They all have dates. It's like your diary. Go back on them. Go and listen to so many of them. And then you realize that whatever Mayegun is doing right now, since he's always been documenting them with his presentation and analysis, as some of you will say, that's why it is called the diary. And that is where we are going to start from tonight. From this screen sharing, from where I'm going to read as usual, word for word, okay? And then we're going to move on to the next one. Then we're going to move on to the next one, on to the next one, until the parliamentarians show face. Now, here we go. This blog, the publisher's name is Coiden Palmer, and the image on the header of the article is that of Tinubu's submitted INEC, what do you call it, the original copy, supposed original copy of Tinubu's certificate from Chicago State University. The one he presented to INEC in Nigeria, fake. Nigeria law says if you submit any fake documents for electoral office, you have committed perjury and you are due for disqualification. But that is just on paper, not in practice. However, this writer, this American former student of the same school that Tinubu went to, said Tinubu is parading a fake diploma that has now boxed Chicago State University into a negative media scandal. Now, make a read so that I don't kind of waste much of your time. Now, they said this diploma from Nigeria President Bola Tinubu is what was turned over to election officials in Nigeria in Nigeria, and is now the subject of judicial proceedings. Here in the United States. So Tinubu's opponent, Atiku, and blah, 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 blah. This is just describing the image, okay? But let's go to the body of the article, where some other new information were actually released. Something that, somebody will kind of see, and it won't take time to discover the fake. But you see all the fake documents that were used by those who ran for office in Nigeria in this last charade election, right? 80% of them presented fake documents, forged documents to the electoral body in Nigeria. The height of it is this, the Tinubu, which has been declared president, right? Like forgery, to the point that even if in the face of the law, their own courts in Nigeria said, okay, the fact that it has been accepted as original, even if the document is fake, it's not for the court, okay, to determine whether the document is fake or not. They will just treat it as original and it will serve the purpose. And that's it, interpretation of using fake documents. So this American writer was kind of was a little bit wondering, imagining how is that even possible in the face of your law. Now, in his expression, which I'm going to read now, here, he said, I got to admit, this one story shows the level of corruption in Nigeria, and it makes you cry and laugh at the same time. I'm going to ahead. He said, the president of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, introduced a fake diploma from Chicago State University to an election board in Nigeria that claims he graduated from the Southside institution in 1979, CSU, Chicago State University. So CSU officials have confirmed in court that Tinubu did indeed graduate from the university, but cannot confirm the authenticity of the diploma that has now been submitted into evidence in a federal court. U.S. District Judge Nancy Maldonado on Tuesday issued a stay on an order that would have required Chicago State University officials to provide documents from the university confirming or denying President Tinubu's claims. The matter has thrusted Chicago State University into an international political war in which political opponents of Tinubu and many Nigerian citizens are calling for his removal from office. He was just elected to lead the country back in February. That wasn't true. He was never elected. Let us always kind of tell our children, Tinubu was never elected to be president of Nigeria. Point blank. All right. However, let me make this easy for you. This is the writer now. The diploma itself is a fake. On the alleged diploma, the date of graduation is listed as June 27, 1979. The signature of the Chicago State University president shows Enora D. Daniel. I almost spit out my coffee. I laughed so hard when I saw this. Dr. Daniel didn't become the president of Chicago State University until 1998. How do I know? Because I covered our inauguration and our first 2 years at Chicago State in Chicago State. The writer is now using Chicago State instead of Chicago State University, by the way, right? So it's still the same thing. So I covered our inauguration and our first 2 years at Chicago State, Chicago State, when I was a student reporter for the now defunct school newspaper, Tempo. Additionally, on the fake diploma, Dr. Niva Lubin is listed as the president of the board of trustees. Dr. Lubin did not even start serving on the board until 1996. I've known Dr. Lubin since my days as a student at CSU, and she is a lifelong resident of Chatham, where I grew up. Furthermore, in 1979, Dr. Daniel was working as a teaching assistant at Columbia University. According to her biography and the resume she submitted when she applied to become the president of Chicago State in 1998. Now, 81, retired and living on the East Coast. So I'd love to know our reaction to the news that the president of Nigeria, who is 71 himself, claims she signed his diploma. The president of Chicago State University in 1979 was actually Dr. Benjamin H. Alexander, who died in 1997 and was the first African-American to serve in that role at CSU. In 1979, Dr. Lubin, now married and going by the name Lubin Johnson, where she wasn't even a doctor in 1979. She didn't become a physician until 1984. So how two signatures of people who were not working at CSU came to be on a document that the president of Nigeria is trying to sell as legit isn't really a mystery. It is a lie. It is deceit. It is part of what is ruining many African nations and the world as a whole. Corruption. Other inaccuracies on the fake diploma that can easily be spotted by anyone who ever attended CSU. The university logo is all wrong for that time period. Again, I know this because the logo on the fake diploma is the one that that was controversial when it was changed in 1999. Myself and my fellow student journalist at Tempo wrote a story about the change in the school symbol because those against it said it was a waste of money. They claimed changing all the school letterhead and signage to the new symbol will remove financial resources from other needs. President Daniel thought the change would be better marketing for the university. So the change was approved by the board. The university symbol in 1979 was a triangle with 2 bars. The bars represent the growth of the institution, starting as Chicago Teachers College, then Chicago State College, 1967, and eventually Chicago State University, 1971. I know this because I had to read that stupid handbook. You know, like all freshmen, and you learn about the history of this school. CSU attorney Michael Hayes said the university is prepared to do whatever the court asks of it. He said the international controversy has brought unwanted and unfair publicity to the school. I would debate that claim, as CSU does. Does enough as stupid stuff that brings bad publicity to itself. However, I must admit for now, at least, it seems that CSU is a victim here of a Nigerian scammer. It wouldn't be the first time an American institution fell victim to scammers in Africa. The end is possibly near for President Tinubu, at least in terms of his presidency. That's a typical American, or using American style to say the end has come for Tinubu. Tell them, say, they play. We are talking about Nigeria. We're not talking about America here. All right? So, according to the writer, the end is possibly near, where there is a doubt there anyway, for President Tinubu, at least in terms of his presidency. If justice actually prevails in Nigeria, fine. Now you are talking. There is no justice in Nigeria. Nigeria is the textbook definition of what injustice means. And I know a lot of people who have suffered injustice all over the world will tell me theirs is different too, but I'm talking about Nigeria. Legalized injustice is in Nigeria. We're going to get to that part, okay? Because those who are behind the expose, all this expose, Tinubu is now working tooth and nail to make sure that they were brought back to Nigeria, dead or alive, in chains, like Bokwari spent Nigeria resources, made deal with Kenya. God knows what that was, right? For them to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu and lock him up illegally in Nigeria for over 2 years. Tinubu is on the march now to do the same, because it would not go down without a fight. Not this that is been sworn in as president of Nigeria. So the writer continues, right? So he said, when Judge Maldonado makes a ruling next week, in which it is expected that Chicago State University will turn over documents that shows its true student records, right? The courts in Nigeria will have a decision to make. They either remove their leader for violating laws in Nigeria or look the other way. Now you are talking. They will look the other way, obviously, right? So the writer, before concluding, also added this. I hope they understand the whole world will be watching too, especially at Chicago State University. Nigerians and everyone else deserve the truth. If Tinubu is willing to fake a diploma, what else is he willing to do? That was the conclusion, the end, from the point of view of an American former student of the school that Tinubu said is parading their diploma, which has created all of this controversy. Nigerians would have to live with that consequences, including, like I told you yesterday, your green passport. There will be consequences. Elections have consequences. Now, talking about consequences and how people are indeed trying to, if there is actually any effort to manage the consequences of this unfortunate APC, I'm going to tell you about what they are doing in Eastern Nigeria. Remember, Nigeria is politically structured the way it is right now, so as to keep the country and the people in perpetual poverty, while those who have the chance take their turn to loot whatever they can loot from that country. No plan, no nothing. There are times that we have said, listen, when Nigeria was to be, and three regions, people from three regions that formed the then Nigeria's first republic, independence Nigeria, what happened? Three regions had the autonomy. They had all of the power to make themselves become whatever they desired at the time before 1966, and everything changed. Before then, we only had, at the time, you had Western region, which comprises mostly what is today the western part of Nigeria, the states in Yoruba land mostly. Then you have the northern region. You have the northern region, which comprises of the core north and partly what is today central Nigeria, or central, they say the north central, not south central, it's north central. But there wasn't anything like that. It was Midwestern region. It was carved out when the people from that axis felt kind of, less benefiting, or the arrangement was less beneficial to them, beneficial. So what did they do? They demanded for a region called the Midwestern region, autonomous, free to do whatever they could. They were making their own laws. They were indeed, right, making their own trade and every other thing, protecting themselves as well. Then in case if you don't know as well, the region called the Eastern region comprises of everywhere. They have now politically broken apart, where the people have kind of been so divided for this political, political crumbs that have been thrown there. So the reason why today you have the Eastern Nigeria, and they say it comprises of those who you can say the core Igbos, Abi. Back then, during the independence, right, there was nothing called the south of Nigeria. It's just the same way you didn't have anything called the south central of Nigeria. But they were able to carve politically a place called the north central, but they didn't. Then they also carved a place called the south of Nigeria. These all places were Eastern Nigeria at the time. The Eastern the Eastern part of Nigeria, or Eastern region of Nigeria, was not just about the Igbos. Okay? There were tens of other ethnic nationalities from that part of Nigeria. But the arrangement pre-independence, before politics of divide and rule, divide yourself not for development but for retrogression, took most part of Nigeria. So they now carved that eastern part of Nigeria after the war. The intention is to make sure that the Igbos, who are part of the Eastern Nigeria, they would never have any cause again to call for the breakaway from Nigeria. So politically, they redrew the map of Nigeria. They created other political regions to kind of create that sort of, we'll keep monitoring you, we'll keep watching you. And there was no plan to actually develop, all of that, Abi. The Igbos became the most endangered species, if you put it that way, the most endangered ethnic nationalities in the political space of today's Nigeria. It is so easy if you are non-Igbos, okay? A lot of you were raised to believe that an Igbo man, it is the right thing for you to say. Even when you claim one Nigeria, you can confidently say it that an Igbo man will never be president of Nigeria. You see, one thing you didn't know is that didn't happen overnight. Your parents, our parents, they contributed to that narrative. And today, they will tell you the Igbo land is landlocked. Why are they saying that to you? It's simply because they believe that the political carving out and then fencing them in a way that if they try to say they want to break away again, it is easier to just use all those around them to fight them. They don't even need to bring the Hausa Fulani down anymore. They don't probably need to bring Yorubas as well to come and die in that war. They can easily just tell those around there, empower them, and it is happening. You have Asari Doku Dombabi, Doku Pigi right now, and all of that. So what happened is that the political narrative that will tell you that on the one hand, you have one Nigeria. All of us are one Nigeria. But when it now comes to the right of everyone who identify as Nigerian, if an Igbo man comes, hell will get loose. I have a message for some of you as well, who have decided, despite repeated evidence, that a lot of those who are actually non-Igbos from other parts of Nigeria, sure you get now, especially the Yorubas, they have been at the forefront of those who have been taking these criminals to the cleaners. Yorubas who have been standing up against this APC, but we know so many of you, that you also know those who are the Yoruba Ronu, the ass licker, the crumb eaters, the beggars. Now, whenever you want to throw your bricks, let me break it down so that it's not going to be like I'm modeling everything up for you, okay? The political structure of Nigeria today, on paper, will tell you Nigeria is one country, okay? But the Nigerians who are inside Nigeria or outside Nigeria were raised differently. So the Igbos, who are also part of Nigeria, the third largest ethnic nationality in Nigeria, among others, right, have been politically, institutionally, they have been bought, they have been profiled. And those who are non-Igbos, they believe that naturally it is convenient for them to say the Igbos will never lead Nigeria. This was after the war. Sure you get. And when you ask them why today, they will tell you everything their parents told them. How the Igbos are this, how the Igbos are that. Just same way, when you ask those who have been the victims of that same war that divided Nigeria, I'm talking about the Igbos themselves. Those who suffered the greatest casualty of that needless war. Those who are those who are the victims, the survivors. When you see their descendants too, with what their own parents have told them, raw info they told them, it has become so hard, right, for them to not see the offspring of those their parents said are conspired to slaughter them. You see these two narratives, which came from no victor, no vanquish. Those who committed war crimes, then they became the leaders of Nigeria. Now, coming back from that, there is Nigeria on paper. But when you now go straight into that Nigeria, and you will begin to understand that there are many Nigerias. So for those who have kind of have that mentality of the Yorubas are this, when they jam those who are also today shouting Yoruba Ronu, I am talking about the Agbadorians who have no single respect for the Yoruba land, who have no single positive ideas or any developmental progress for the Yoruba people. As Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world, the Yorubas have our own fair share of it. So therefore, we have Yorubas who are taking on these criminals. And then we have the Yorubas who have become the offspring of their own parents, who told them they must never, ever have anything to do with the Igbos, even in the same country called one Nigeria. I don't know if that is kind of not too much for you to decipher, right? Now, you see that from the background of this division, it has been politically programmed that the eastern part of Nigeria must not be given any kind of economic, political, security leverage at all. And systematically, it has been like that. But you know, because it is not because the eastern part of Nigeria, I'm talking about the Igbo land, they don't have their own representatives. In Nigeria, this rotten system, they do. Then you will ask yourself, what are they doing then? If Nigeria conspired against them, failed to develop their own seaport, failed to develop their own international airport, failed to actually develop economic activities in that region to create employment opportunities for the young teeming population of that region. Just same way any reasonable government will think of every citizen from every part of Nigeria, Abi. But sincerely speaking, when you see the sufferness, when you see the marginalization, when you see what the shege Nigerians have been subjected to, I am talking about those who currently today identified as those who are present in today's present territorial area of Nigeria. The shege is the same from the north to the south, the same from the north, the core north to the creek of a Niger Delta. However, when it comes to the eastern part of Nigeria, it is a different ball game. When I told people that as they are taking tax from everywhere, the southern part of Nigeria, listen to this, the southern part of Nigeria is contributing over 80% of Nigeria's revenue. When I say Nigeria revenue, I'm talking about the revenue that the federal, the central government of Nigeria depends on every day. The real resources of the country that the looters and the criminals in power depends on, from the north to the south, comes from the southern Nigeria. And this may not kind of surprise you, that apart from whatever impression they give to you about the eastern part of Nigeria, and how much of it that a lot of you have kind of swallowed, hook, line, and sinker, there are some certain things that should probably shock you. Nigeria has been existing for the past 63 years. Do you know that out of those 63 years, there is no single federal government of Nigeria completed projects in the entire eastern part of Nigeria, the 5 states, Enugu, Anambra, Abia, Imo, what's that last one? Ebonyi. These are the 5 states from the eastern Nigeria: Enugu, Imo, Ebonyi, Anambra, Abia. For 63 years of Nigeria democracy, you will never see a federal government completed airport in eastern Nigeria. You would never see a federal government completed road in eastern Nigeria. You will never see a federal government funded and sponsored medical facility in eastern Nigeria. You will never see any of this. But do you know something? From these resources that are coming from eastern Nigeria and other part of southern Nigeria, you have Imo State. You have you have Imo, and you have Abia, and then you have Anambra. You see, this Imo and Abia, these two, they are also contributing to the petrodollar or gas, liquid gas dollar that Nigeria is selling. Anywhere Nigeria is selling gas or selling crude oil, these 2 states have been contributing to that money for the past, since the moment they discovered oil, Just so you know, I just want you to know. Like I said, there is no single rail line of the federal government projects in the entire eastern Nigeria for 63 years. Of course, now you can now start asking, what are their leaders doing? I told you, okay? They were comfortable with the political arrangements. They did not push politically because they don't have any political will to push anything. You see the power that a lot of you think you have, whether in the south, southwest, southeast, wherever it is all put inside that fraudulent decree 4, decree 24, called 1999 Constitution. The power they give to your governor and give to everybody is not DRC. And if you begin to act funny, they can get rid of you. The people who are there, the political criminals from eastern Nigeria, especially since 1999, they understand this unwritten code. They never push it. As long as they are making their own money, why should they start fighting the federal government for Seaport in Eastern Nigeria? Since everybody believes that Eastern Nigeria is landlocked. Sure, you get? They can never have any seaport. No, it's not possible. And everybody agrees. So why should I push it? When I can continue to collect the allocation, collect my rubber, and everybody can continue to live like that. So 2023 elections then puts the people of Eastern Nigeria extraction, the Biafrans, the Igbos, especially those who still felt so connected with Nigeria, they started having a rethink. The election was so divisive. That was the moment we had the Yoruba Ronu. I am a Yoruba man. Even those who are non-Yorubas, they know my position when it comes to this APC, and I've repeatedly told every of my audience that cares to listen that every time these criminals are using your ethnic nationality or using your religion as a way of connection to you, you should never buy it, because it has always been their own meal ticket to the dining table where they are sharing our common patrimony. When somebody says, I'm an Igbo man, I deserve this and that, as an Igbo man, I am fighting for my Igbo people. It is a lie. The Igbos knows those who are fighting for them. None of these criminals is fighting for them. They know. When somebody comes and shouts, Yoruba Ronu, Yoruba Lokon, Yoruba this or that, sensible Yorubas, I am talking about intelligent and sensible Yorubas, knows directly that the Yorubas they are shouting or using is not the common Yoruba, which is me and you. They are referring to calling their own raw ignorance base that believe that they have anything to gain from these criminals when they don't. It is just a meal ticket. Bokwari sold the idea of Northern Lokan, Fulani Lokan. It is the Fulanistan, Fulanization. Look at the life of an average Fulani from northern Nigeria today. Apart from an average Fulani, also sort of drowning inside the poverty that these criminals have created. Apart from that, Bokwari's actions have also put the lives of an ordinary Fulani in Nigeria in danger, especially if you are a poor one. So where is all this coming from that these criminals will begin to push Yoruba Lokon, Kalabari Lokon, Hausa Lokon, Fulani Lokon, this one Lokon, that one Lokon. But when you look around, when they say 145 million Nigerians are living in multi-dimensional poverty, like I said, everybody get their own share. Yoruba get share in this multi-dimensional poverty. Igbos have their own share in this multi-dimensional poverty. Hausa, Fulani, Ijo, Ishekiri, Tifi, Nupe, everybody have their own share of this extreme poverty because they are Nigerians. So, what is now the advantage of Fulani Lokon? Because it is also Zobo. Muslim is going to help all the Muslim. It's a great idea for our faith. It's going to promote Christian is going to bring unity. It's about the peace of our Lord Jesus Christ. But when you look around you, you have Muslim governors. Some of them with over 500,000 out of school children in their state. They don't even care. And they are Christians. They are Muslims. In Lagos State alone, 1.24 million school children who are supposed to be in school, that they sell pure water inside hold up. They are out of school right now. Officially, 1.2 million children. The governor of Lagos State is probably Christian. The governor of Kano State is a Muslim. Most of the majority of those who have been governor in Kano, they have always been Muslims, Abi. So the children in Kano, I would say 90% of them were raised as Muslims, Abi. 2 million out of school children in Kano alone. Shena so, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said you should use your position when you have a chance of changing the life of the poor. Shein Koti Muhammad is on here. So when you go to all these places, you will see Christian governor, Christian commissioner, Muslim commissioner, Christian minister, Muslim minister, Yoruba minister, Igbo minister, Hausa minister, Fulani minister, Fulani commissioner, Yoruba commissioner. All of them are there ruining the lives of everybody that they can. So where do you think when they begin to sell that bobo, and you, when you know that there are Yorubas and they are actually in the majority who despise all these criminals and their activities, they will never stand up and begin to say, I'm a Yoruba, but they're not going to hide that. You know that. Then when you want to take your jibe, like the Olori Brukus like you, because you wanted to hide, behind say you are Igbo, and then you will just say, that is why I hate this tribe. All these Yorubas are this or that. Listen to me. As we have some of you mofos as Igbos, as you have some of these mofos as Yorubas, as you have all these mofos across the place who have nothing to actually contribute but to fan the ember of division. Look at the tiny, minute rogues, criminals who are promoting ethnic division from every tribe, and then you latch on that and you begin to hold your big brush and begin to paint the entire ethnic. They begin to paint them with the same brush. And then when you jam Mayegun, you want to sound like, what happened is that, except for Mayegun. And you see Mayegun, I am so surprised. A Yoruba man, can you imagine? A Yoruba man, I can't believe this. A Yoruba man is talking like this. I have never seen a Yoruba man talk like this, because you are also a bigoty. As we have Yoruba bigots, we have Igbo bigoty, we have Hausa bigoty. Nigerians, naturally, majority of you are bigoty. Education couldn't change you. No amount of exposure. It is not just poverty. You were raised to be bigoty. And more reason why, if you get sense, you will queue behind those who kind of say, may everybody they go their separate way. I decided to point at that because I know a lot of you, like I said, it is your territory. A Yoruba man comes. The Igbo women are very, very kinikon. Another one will come. Look at this idiot. You see, this is why I don't like all these Yorubas. The Yoruba women are kinikon, and I go take that opportunity. You can't say, well, I know what to say. I know what to say. If not, what do you want to say? Enjoy your bigotry. Okay? But the bottom line is that you contribute nothing. Because facts are always going to beat fiction. Nigeria is not working. We know why it is not. And we know those who want to keep it that way. However, when they begin to kind of act, like I said, after the 2023 elections, they said Igbos should go back to their Biafra. They cannot be president of Nigeria. They should leave Yoruba land. The Agberos, the fine barras, the sewage rats of this APC, Egbekegbe, you know them very well. You know what they represent. And you know the noble Yoruba men and women that will never stand on the side of wrong in a way. They will never intentionally side with what is wrong. I am one of them. However, it was like a clarion call at that moment. Those of the Igbos who are politicians, who are businessmen in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, when they started seeing some of their shops and businesses being set ablaze by the Tinubu thugs, APC, Egbekegbe in Lagos, and the state government has made it its policy, the State House of Assembly have decided to make laws. They call it indigenous this, indigenous that. So quick enough, a lot of the Igbos, they decided to act on it, and they started returning back to the eastern Nigeria. Oh, there is no security. There is unknown gunmen. There is if there is unknown gunmen, right? It seems we have allowed this madness to go on for too long. Somehow, they started going back. They started investing, interested in how to actually face, so that when they begin to do those things, if the political arrangement that wanted to keep them that way, if it is still very much in effect, now they have an opportunity to start something, push it, and they can always use that as the reason why they want to disagree with Nigeria. Something that they can actually start. Start your own seaport, dredge your own rivers, link them straight, dredge rivers that pass through, like River Niger, that pass through all the land in Igbo land. Dredge them to wherever they go to, make them the corridor. Go straight to the Atlantic. Cut deal with those ones who are right. I've said this many times. You know that. I've said this many times. And I've come here many times as well to tell you, I don't see the positive result. It seems that some of them are beginning to pick that up. For example, trying to improve on their own infrastructure. All right? That if you improve your infrastructure, you can attract, and then you also make access to land and the rest of that easier for those who want to come and invest. Baba, as you are watching this video, the states like Abia, they have taken the bull by the horn. Well, Abia is Alex Otti, right? So they now called what they called the Eastern Nigeria Economic and Security Summit. They now invited all of their best brains to come around and let's have a chat. Those who want to go into real estate, those who want to go into, you know what I mean? Like those who want to go into PPP with them, build some infrastructures, right? With your money, all right? And then use that and recoup your money for a certain year. You know what I mean? They are now opening up now to allow that. This is not like a magic wand, though. It is not like, oh, thank God. It is just to tell you that when they start taking steps that looks like in the right direction, it is always ideal to point them out. Now, if they maintain that and there is consistency, then there will be, that is when you can begin to now build an expectation, hope, you know? When, for example, now, Alex Otti, or let me even tell you this, not just Alex Otti, there's this agenda, which is what they actually kind of are pushing. So they said, according to them, right, they were looking into, what do you call it? They were looking into building their own seaport this time around. But the arrangement or the process of the building is going to be just like I described it, building the channel that will eventually be like the gateway from the Atlantic Ocean straight into the heartland of Igbo land, right? Which means you can always barge at the big ocean, which is pretty much like, you know, few kilometers away. Then build not just road, they will be able to build a rail track, train track from such place that will then run through and come to their land. Now, here is where the question of one Nigeria will need to be answered. Is it one Nigeria? It is one Nigeria, Abi. Okay. So we are building this channel. And the purpose is to bring the trade straight to Igbo land. And the Atlantic Ocean, which Nigeria, the coastline, they call it coastline. Nigeria on the map has over 800 kilometers of coastline of water. Part of that coastline cut across Igbo land too. But the deeper side of it is not entirely on the Igbo land part. So which means they have to build a channel, dredge it, load it with water. And whatever they are bringing to their main seaport, they just ferry the whole thing straight to the heartland of Onitsha. Or Aba. So this idea, give me one second. So this idea of the eastern part of Nigeria is listed as this, where they believe that everyone should play their part, grab their own chance. They want to build, they said, they are marking Enugu International Airport a grade 1 airport so that passengers can fly in without stopover in Lagos or Abuja. You see, the Igbos, they are the most traveled people out of Nigeria. They are the most traveled. Sure you get. Which means the western part of Nigeria and the central part of Nigeria, they are benefiting so much economically that the Igbos have to run their businesses, right, through these two places instead of them running them through their own region. In a way that you spread the economic, what have you there, right? It is going to be a win-win situation for Nigeria. You see the mass migration of people from Eastern Nigeria to other parts of Nigeria, especially Southwest Nigeria, right? There won't be just mass movement of people anymore. It will be mass movement of finished goods that are not only being, to serve the rest of Nigeria, they may actually also be goods who are destined to leave the shores of Nigeria that will hand Nigeria more forex. As they are doing in Eastern Nigeria, they are doing in Western Nigeria, and at the end of the day, it will create not one, not two, right? Not 10, not 20. It can create more than 50 million direct good paying jobs, better economy, good living standard. And this is a win-win situation for everybody that will be concerned. So they are planning that because no matter how much airport they try to build themselves, no matter how much announcement they make to tell you, Enugu Airport is now international airport too. International this, no. They know what they are doing. They will never direct those flights there. No matter how the standard. It is politically structured that way. So if the governors begin to speak out and say, we want this, we follow all the due process, why are we not getting this? Then they can begin to scream and shout. Then you can say, oh, they are doing something, Abi. So they said they want to dredge River Niger. I told you. Dredging it would then allow bigger vessels to actually sail through to the entrance or to the shoreline of the people of Biafra land. They would dredge it. The federal government of Nigeria has been talking about dredging and dredging. When Bokwari came, they designed a bridge. It is called Second Niger Bridge. This Second Niger Bridge, when Jonathan designed it, it was meant to have train track underneath it. A train track on the side of it. Vehicles passing on. Then you see vessels like ship can pass under. It was meant to be very tall. When Bokwari came, he cancelled the contract. And he told them the only way he would award the contract is for them to go and redesign it. Despite the fact that Jonathan has already paid over 90% of their own part of the contribution to the money. Nigeria's part of the money. Jonathan has paid that, but they were playing politics with it. Then it was gone. Bokwari came for this mental political arrangement, which is deliberate. They cancelled the contract, redesign it to something lower. Even if you dredge the River Niger, it will now be difficult for any vessel to pass under the current bridge. So you understand what it means to be political, to use political arrangement, to stifle a region of economic opportunities. The Second Niger Bridge right now is uncompleted, mostly abandoned. And it is deliberate. That's what I'm telling you. You will never see any completed government project in that part of the country because it is deliberate. Yeah? So they are looking at upgrading Owerri Airport to a functional cargo airport. So they are planning, right, to upgrade Enugu Airport to international airport that you don't have to stop in Lagos or stop in Abuja, which is something that a lot of Igbos have been demanding for years. But their governors, they had no political will to push it. I'm not saying they do now, but I want us to kind of keep the record that probably they do. So they want to turn Owerri Airport to a cargo airport whereby, every cargo can actually land. And according to them, the eastern part of Nigeria, Aba, Japan, the Japan of Africa, if they have all the resources, electricity and everything, you see those who are bringing goods to Nigeria, and they are leaving Nigeria with empty container, empty vessel, empty planes. In eastern part of Nigeria, with this, there will be no need for any of those to live in empty. They will be packing things away too. Like I said, a win-win for the Igbo people and Nigeria, if they are still part of Nigeria then, right? So they want to do what they call the revival of the moribund industries in the southeast and south-south to provide job opportunities. They are talking about all those traditional industries built when the regions were regions. During the regional government, there were many, many industries built by the regional governments. When the regionalism was abolished and one Nigeria, they started screaming one Nigeria, so many of those, thousands of those industries, right? They perished. These guys are talking about reviving them. I have no idea of what they are talking about. But anyway, that is something that is also positive. Also, they said they want functional rail lines in southeast and south-south regions. You know why they are adding south, right? Is because there is, in order to make all of their plan very successful, they will need to break that barrier, that political barrier that the criminals of Nigeria, the owners of Nigeria, intentionally put between the south-south and the southeast. It is political. Okay? So they are now saying, well, for us to be successful in all these things, we will need to think with this, the people of south-south as well. Just like the eastern region of Nigeria of the old. Well, their governors met, well, I'm coming to that. So provision of a good primary health care system, which is something they should be doing right now. They don't probably need, what do you call it? That as an agenda for the region. But well, fine, it should be, which everybody should take very much, you know. Then they are talking about provision of steady electricity supply. You see all these great ideas. Regionally, people can team up and build all these things. Before independence, after independence, in the eastern part of Nigeria, in western part of Nigeria, people bring ideas. They build together. When they make laws on education, everybody from the region benefit. And even if you are not from that region, but if you are living there, your children will also benefit. Healthcare, educational, infrastructure, even jobs. This was the old Nigeria that our forefathers signed up for. Not this one, no, that you are hearing Yoruba Ronu here. And you are hearing some people shouting that kill the Igbo, kill the IPOB. And the rest of all those things you are hearing right now, as divisive as they are. Back in the days, regionally, you don't have to worry about what is going on in northern Nigeria because they have their own government. You don't have to worry about what is going on in western Nigeria. They had their own government. They had their own constitution. They had their own law, and they had their own tax system. It was very okay. It wasn't perfect. So yeah, all these ideas will only come to fruition if it is not just politics, all talks, no action. So I'm going to take you to the place where they are doing all the talking and talking. So it was Soludombu who was asking for a plan here.
So a new dawn, a new team now give us the agenda. And that brings me to my third point. My third point is that we need a plan. I don't want to regale you with my own proposals and so on and so forth. We all have ideas. But for the organizers of this summit, what we need and will very much cherish from all of you is not just a 2-year plan, a 5-year plan. The Vatican plans in centuries. Give us a 100-year plan for the Southeast. Understand? You're welcome. Give us a 100-year plan. And in Anambra, we developed a 50-year plan, Vision 2070. My manifesto derived from that 15-year plan. We are intentionally, deliberately, intently implementing that. We need a plan. Because if you don't have a destination in mind, any road will take you there. I want to believe that at the end of this summit, we have a working group that will give us a Southeast plan and an agenda. So, a new dawn, a new team.
So Soludom addressing them in that summit, let's talk, we need plan, blah, 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 blah. But that was the plan, how to economically, then security. Me, I have one advice for them. When they are done playing politics, when they are done giving guns to their political options, the political options that they call unknown gunmen, when they are ready for the real security that will actually guarantee all the success of all the beautiful ideas they might actually mute, is for them to use that same political position now and demand for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let me tell you something. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was arrested or kidnapped in 2015, December, and he was locked up, tortured, right? Brutalized, in fact, injured. At a point when an election was coming, and it was so kind of obvious that these political rogues from Eastern Nigeria, they would have so much electoral damages done to them. They decided to come together quick to arrange the behind the door Jankara bail condition. So when they released Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, right, they called for a meeting where this old man, Unwabueze or so, you know, that old man, I think he's dead now. He used to be a Tifkus lawyer as well during election petition. And all of the state governors, including Devulumayi, they called the meeting in Enugu and they invited Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to come. When he got there, they expected him to start demanding for his own cut from the largesse of Nigeria that comes to the eastern part of Nigeria. I am talking about the penury, the crumbs that they actually feed fat on. But when Nnamdi Kanu will present his own demands from those they called the leaders of the eastern Nigeria, including the governors, guess what Nnamdi Kanu demanded? What were the demands of Nnamdi Kanu? For those who are very famous with that, right? Somebody said, how do you know much about, how does this, why would this Yoruba man care about Nnamdi Kanu, Baba? Like I told you, the moment you can drop your bigotry, you see this Yoruba man, you see this Yoruba platform, that you will say Yoruba platform to you because a Yoruba man actually, to you, in that your bigoted lenses that you use to, this platform where you have almost everyone from every part of Nigeria, by the way, we're not just talking and demanding for the freedom and release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Unconditionally, we also pulled our resources together to say, take our own widow's mite. We know that all of this fight, that those who are fighting for it legally, and that those ones who are doing it legally now, right? From this platform, we're not just shouting, release him. We also contributed our own little token to support those who have stood by him from day one. So it is on this Yoruba man's platform. So maybe at some point you will need to take off your bigoted lenses, because right here you will see an Hausa man that also contributed to that money. 2 million naira legal support fund was also, was given by this platform to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team is a token. But we are proud that we're not just talking. We also offered our little help where we could, and we are still doing as much as possible. Just so you know, in case if you just stumble on this platform by accident and you are so surprised, Yoruba. Anyway, if they indeed, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave them those demands, I remember there were 11 demands. Guess what were those in that? What were those things inside that paper? Nnamdi Kanu was asking the Igbo leaders that for the sake of our people and our children, the Fulani armed terrorists are indeed, they are going to invade this land. Their purpose is this and that. Please invest in your own security system for the sake of our people. Because when these terrorists comes, the Nigeria system is going to protect them. The Nigerian government is going to, instead of Nigerian government to go after them, they will go after the Igbos. They will blame them and kill them. But if you quickly put this under check by setting up your own security system here for this purpose. Secondly, the poverty in Igbo land, it should at least be addressed. The unemployment among young people in Igbo land, he told them, invest in the young people, create opportunity that will actually keep them in Igbo land to develop and contribute their own to the Igbo land. He said, invest in education. Invest in healthcare. Invest in the infrastructure of Igbo land. Make it a glorious place that all the Igbos will feel attracted and come back. That was his demand. That was just where his demand, though. There was nowhere in those demands that he said, and I want you to declare Biafra. He is a very smart guy. Do you know why? He personally believed that if the Igbo political and economic leaders, if they do all these basic things, so basic, it will be easier, and it won't be long after when the Igbos will agree that if they could do this, then what is keeping them in Nigeria? Something enough. Immediately he left the meeting. They were surprised that he wasn't asking for money. He wasn't asking for anything that could make him rich. Some even said they were surprised that he wasn't asking for oil block. He wasn't asking for security contracts. He wasn't asking for, all those things that they could easily just give to him and let him just disappear into the oblivion. A lot of people said he was looking for attention. He was a scammer. He was a chancer. He was taking money from people. He was deceiving them, right? But when he had the opportunity of asking the real criminals for money, he never asked for a dime. 3 days later, they signed his death warrant. It was meant to be like an accident. Okay? 3 days after that meeting, they gave the signal to Abuja. You know what? You can come, Jerry. The guy is even so gentle, so ordinary. We thought that, we thought he was so powerful that we can deal with and all of that. Oh yeah, bring the Operation Python dance. So they took Operation Python dance to Eastern Nigeria. It was meant, they expected, in their own formation, they thought young people, they will appear with guns and they will be fighting the soldiers. When they got there, they saw armless young people who are there to protect the man they wholeheartedly called their leaders. Sorry, they wholeheartedly called their own leader. And Nigerian soldiers saw them and they opened fire on them. They killed his dog. They killed 28 young people that day. How he managed to escape from them remained a mystery that he never shared with anybody. That was after he met the Eastern Nigerian governor. So when he resurfaced, they were surprised. Even DSS couldn't tell what happened. How did he get away from them? The Nigerian soldiers couldn't tell. So for 2 straight years, they were lost, confused. And guess what? The rank and file of the IPOB, the followers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they continue to grow and wax stronger and stronger and stronger. When he resurfaced, it was the shock of the year. Don't forget that. So Nigeria and the failure of Nigeria and the criminals in Nigeria, they are the ones who produced Nnamdi Kanu. And keeping him away illegally, even after kidnapping him, even after your court said let him go illegally, and then forming different terrorist group in Eastern Nigeria, giving them different names of unknown this, unknown that. While the man that you thought, if you lock up, everybody will disappear, is still there. So there is not going to be any any real economic survivor or development or success in Eastern Nigeria if all of you, the political leaders of that place right now, if you do mean well, you will need to demand politically the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu. Then we can then begin to take you serious. He's done nothing wrong. Bukwari spent 8 years. He couldn't produce one single evidence against Nnamdi Kanu, and he has killed. A lot of you have helped them. Hopeless or Digba and the rest, they have helped Bukwari to kill thousands of Igbo youth, and they labeled them ESN, IPOB, no investigation, no probe, no autopsy, no nothing. Just like that for 8 solid years. And you had governors, senators, commissioners, ministers from Eastern Nigeria. You have royal fathers, businessmen, businesswomen, and the rest of them. Now, if you do care genuinely, I think it is right time to pull out all of the effort, the political strength, get Nnamdi Kanu out of that place. Then we'll take you serious. But if you are still kind of going to continue to promote propaganda, IPOB this, IPOB that, no investigation, no nothing, state-sponsored profiling, state-sponsored genocide, then I am not going to take anybody serious, but I'm glad I'm going to put it on the record here. Let's go to the next one. Tinubu is going to be back in Nigeria, possibly this weekend, maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday. He's going to be coming from France. Nobody knows where he is, but we believe he's in France. However, Tinubu's men, they invaded David Hundenyi's house in Ghana. Sure you get? They thought they would find him in the house. So, a week ago, David Hundeyin raised an alarm that Nigeria sent a private jet to Ghana because they expected Ghana to have cancelled the, the asylum access they gave to him and the passport, and they were ready to send him back to Nigeria in that private jet so that they can give him Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's treatment. I know some of you who still don't realize that we are all in a mess. So whether you are for Biafra, or whether you are for Oduduwa, whether you are for Kwara, whether you are for Arewa, whether you are for one Nigeria, the one that is different from this one, we are all in soup with the arrangement and this current state capture. But if all of you are still jumping about and saying, this one deserves that, some of you are saying that David should be handcuffed and should be boxed down to Nigeria like they did to Nnamdi Kanu, so that you can laugh, so that you can feel better. So when Nnamdi Kanu is, when these criminals they are keeping Nnamdi Kanu as a trophy because he was exposing them. Yeah, you might have said David and his position against the IPOB and all of you and all of that online will actually justify your own reason why you want him to be boxed back to Nigeria. But it is not going to also kind of give us the freedom that you are also yearning for. You know why? Because those who could indeed pull all of their weight together, leaving all of their differences and face a common enemy, an establishment that is already rigged against us. If you by any chance go against it, you either go missing, go exile, go to jail, or go deep 6 feet below. This is going to be the fate of anybody who goes against them, whether you are for Biafra or Dudua. So at this point, every smart person, anybody will get sense, you are not going to be making your enemies your friend. If you are a friend to my friend, if you are a friend to my enemy, you are my enemy. If you are this or that, you actually have to pick your fight now. If you are all serious. A few days ago, I had a suggestion from a lot of people. In fact, a special one actually stood out when they said we should start what is called a global movement, where Nigerians in diaspora will leave all of their differences like they normally do on Mayegun's Diary Political. Leave all their differences and come together and face this monster, face this rotten establishment, and indeed have your way. Once you have your way, that means you can have everything you want if you actually know what you want. And I said, people chose why they are not happy with Nigeria. A lot of us are not happy with Nigeria for different reasons. Okay? Now, if you now have that common enemy that is coming for all of us in this regard, whether you are criticizing them or not, they are economically destroying millions of Nigerians. This future no sure for anybody anymore. So if you are happy and jumping up, your own is not different from, let me tell you this. When they came for El Zakzaki of the Shiites, some people said, because of their religion, or because of where they come from, they deserved it. El Zakzaki, he can die. Others are saying this is not right. They went for Omoyele Sowore. They humiliated him. They wanted him dead. He was shot at. They shot at him. Inside the courtroom where they were seeking justice, he was brutalized, assaulted by the Daura Secret Service at the time. A lot of you celebrated it. He deserved it because he brought APC to power. Because he criticized Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Buhari should deal with him. He deserved it. Then they came for the IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Just like that too. Some of you on the other side, kill him, John. He's always shouting. Very, very kinikon, very, very useless, very, very bad. He's a dangerous person. They should kill him. He's supposed to be jailed. He's supposed to be killed. Anybody that they see with him, the Nigerian government did exactly that. They started killing them. Some of you justified that. No be so? Then another time came. It was the turn of the youth of Nigeria. NSAS, NSAS, NSAC, NSAS, NSAC. We need our right. We are Nigerians. They started killing them. So some of you too, from the camp of Zazaki, from the camp of IPOB, from the camp of Yoruba Nation, from the camp of Omoyele Sowore, they too started taking side. Kill them, John. They are the IPOB. They are Kiniko. They are Yoruba. You know, what I'm trying to say here is this. You have always been given the criminals, the murderers, the genocidists, every reason to kill anybody since it's not you. But the day you realize that instead of giving ourselves up, celebrating all of these killings, why don't you just stop the source of all these killings? Those who have this right of killings, whether they are killing you physically, or they are killing you economically, or they are killing you other way, right? How about you actually face that establishment, that rotten system? That mentality is why we are still not here we are today. All this talk. You can blame Mayegun. You can come here and talk to Mayegun that everybody just come and talk. But the bottom line is this. You all have your biases. You all have the reason why you are angry with Nigeria. And in a way, to you, some people's way, or their own anger against Nigeria is too much because you be the judge. This one should not react that way. They should not be angry that way. The anger should be this way. The anger should not be that way. You can't become the judge on how people should be angry with the way They have been unjustifiably treated as part of the contraption. You want to judge. So the moment you stop all of that mentality and you begin to see your own self, you begin to see yourself in the mirror, you begin to see how this is affecting you, and you begin to see those behind it. And everybody begin to understand that, dropping their differences, trust me, will make headway. David is now living in hiding. What did he do? Did he commit any crime? For exposing criminal, the drug lord do, with all evidence. The person that is the criminal is the president. The person that is exposing him is on the run. What kind of a country is that? Anyway, we hope that in due time, when all of us begin to see how much danger we are all in, we'll begin to possibly take ourselves more serious, and we'll begin to act. Until that time, somebody like me won't stop talking. And you can come here and complain. I will just listen to you and say, okay, hey, Mayegun, we need to do something. And a lot of that. Of course, we need to do something. And what have you done? But I won't ask you that. I will just be like, okay, yeah, sure. People need to wake up. Just let's keep telling them. Sure you get? Because until people understand how this actually affects them, they will never know how to fight it and why they should be fighting it. You won't give up. I have all my parliamentarians around. I have other clips and videos I was going to share. But at this point, I am just going to keep them to myself and share one. And this was the one where Oshiomole, Senator Oshiomole, was talking, and then he was kind of making his own contribution when they were grilling, when the Senate was grilling the new central bank governor Cardoso. I will use that as a break. I'll go make myself another cup of tea. Now, if you want to be part of this tonight, again, check the comments. There is a link there. You have 5 minutes to say your mind. After that, another person will come on. Please don't hug the microphone. When we yield the mic to you and say, Parliament, it's your turn, don't hug the microphone. Okay? Don't pretend that you don't know. There are other people waiting. Don't stay there and spend 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Sometimes, once I check the time and I use my hand like this, that's me trying to tell you to round up. Okay? Now, you may raise a point that is so interesting that I would like to give you more time. That will be at my own discretion. But always have it at the back of your mind. Whatever you want to say, you only have 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes, I am going to take you off. I may not even tell you. I'm just going to say, thank you so much, thank you, and I'll take you off. I am going to be very strict with time tonight. Please don't spend 4 minutes of your time appreciating me if you have other things you want to say. Of course, you can join and say, Amayegun, I appreciate you. Whatever you want to say is your own. But don't use most of your time appreciating me, thanking me. People say that all the time. Maybe when you finish talking, you can then thank me and say, Mayegun, thank you for your work, blah, 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 and leave. But if you spend most of that time, if I check my time and I realize that, yeah, you have already spent 5 minutes or 6 minutes, I'm just going to say, thank you so much. I'm not even going to tell you to round up. Please, do you understand? Oshiomole was present where they were doing the screening for the new central bank governor. But it is not the screening that matters. It's not other things, but what he said. For this diary, I want to keep it here. And the credit for this clip is for the channel's television, by the way. Emma suspend, Emma report to me. I don't give you your credit. So the full clip is on their website, is on their YouTube. But this part is that of Oshiomole. Please listen.
And my distinguished colleagues, thank you for this privilege to meet those who will manage our central bank. I want to differ very radically from what seems to be the general view. My view is I am suspicious of people whose main background come from commercial banking. Because central banking is about policy. It's not about marketing. It's not about seeking profit. It's about getting monetary policies right with clear focus on specific microeconomic objectives. Whether it is job creation, stabilizing a price regime, exchange rate regime, inflation regime, all of that. When listening to the CVs, people who have managed banks that have gone into liquidation, that cannot be used as positive in their favor. The truth has to be told. I am not suggesting that any one of them is responsible. I'm saying a doctor who parades the number of people who died under his care cannot forward that to me as a CV for me to appoint him as a surgeon general. I don't need them to take note of that. That what we do in our small places of work, whether they survive or fail, goes to our credit or discredit. So they should take note. However, sir, I think at the heart of our problem, and I need their views on this, is that the immediate past management of the bank emphasized their autonomy. But in the real world of macroeconomic management, every agency's activity rub off on another agency. There can be no autonomy from monetary authority such that they do not interface with the fiscal authority. And even these two, in my view, if they do not relate with the Ministry of Trade and Commerce, because the challenge we deal with now is, at least to everybody here, everybody seems to have submitted completely to the so-called market forces and rely on the invisible hands of Adam Smith to regulate and determine the value of the Naira. It is now clear, after Babangida started this devaluation, that the Naira, the market forces can never stabilize the Naira. The state must intervene. Interest rate cannot be at 20%, 25%, and you are expecting the manufacturing sector to grow that require long-term investment, or investment that require long-term gestation period, borrowing at 20%. Even if you are a drug dealer, you will find that those dealing with drug in some other part of Latin America will be more competitive. So I think that there is need for a complete thinking outside the box. When the West celebrates our free market, no control, and so on, I'm always suspicious. When they come for us that we are doing the right thing, the state is withdrawing, less regulations, at a time when we can see that even at the time of world trade, nation states are negotiating with other nation states to have specific trade relationship. So I feel we need this new team. We need this new team to completely think outside the box, and I will expect on this occasion, Mr. President, that all the things that many of our colleagues have spoken to, including my dear brother Kanu, if we allow Nigerians to import everything without restriction, and you have limited Naira dollars available, the Naira will continue to suffer devaluation. Our best time that you refer to, Mr. President, when you reminded us of a time where 1 Naira was $1.5 US. I was a very proud worker in the textile factory. In those days, government ordered a policy of backward integration, prohibit manufacturers from importing certain items. Even some textile fabrics were prohibited because the game of competition presupposes equality and a level playing field. You cannot ask a featherweight champion to go and engage a heavyweight champion in the name of competition. Nigeria needs specific tools to protect industries at home and not pretend that a man with 1 leg can compete in a race with a man with 2 legs. We need a complete radical shift. We don't need the West to clap for us, We need Nigeria to clap for us. So I want these bankers, and also I've heard of you very much. When I was in trade union, we trouble each other somehow when you were in Lagos. And even now, we trouble you so that this president succeed. We need to keep interrogating our assumptions and ensure that we are not copying Washington, all this international finance capital. It is their interest. There is no such thing as common interest. So, Mr. President, I thank you for allowing me to talk this much, because if this president is going to deliver on the renewed hope, it must devise new tools away from invisible market to visible hands that can be held responsible and accountable for our collective future.
And then blah, 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 blah. So, the story around about market force is all coming back as rules, okay? And it's asking that Tinubu should pump money into the dying economy. But the question is, where is Tinubu going to get the money to pump into the economy when they have already opened doors, including the Mo Adams, Oshiomo Leo? They have already opened doors for how they are going to siphon whatever resources that comes through them that will never go into that economy. Just them. Now them need extra coach. They need dollars for their girlfriends, for their family shopping abroad, for their own medical trip and every other thing. They are those who need all these things, okay? And they are those who have wreaked havoc on your dollars. And to bring it to what it is today, they will continue to also wreck it from what we have seen. Well, you know, Nigerian criminal leaders have never run out of idea. It is the execution. Sure you get. And that is why when they talk, sometimes you want to kind of agree with them, believing that maybe they know what they are saying. They do know what they are saying, but they have no intention of doing any of them. Sure you get now. Because nobody is going to be held responsible for any backlash or any failure at any given assignment of economic value, so to say. Nobody's going to be held responsible. So yeah, if you want to be part of this tonight, take a look at the comment section. The link to join is there. I already have some parliamentarians waiting right now, but let me give you some ideas on how to be part of this. If you want to come on live, number one, you cannot use the same device you are using to watch this video. If you are watching this broadcast on your TV, that is brilliant. Now, it will be the time for you to grab either your iPad, your tablet, your phone, or even your laptop. So this will be the time too. And what do you need to do? If you are watching me on Facebook, all right, there is a link in the comment section of Facebook. Copy that link. Put it in your browser, on your phone, on your devices that you want to use, so that you can then set yourself up. Put up your name, your camera. Go to a quiet place in your house or wherever you are, where nobody is going to distract you. Put on some clothes. Don't join me if you are not wearing clothes and you are on your bed with the light of your room switched off. We can barely see your face. If I see, because I'm going to see you before you join, okay? So what I'm going to do tonight is, I am not just going to kick you out. I am going to block you from joining us so that you don't continue to take the space of those who are serious. We don't have much time, and I hope we make the best of it tonight. So to join, again, use that link. Those who have always been regulars, I advise you tonight, don't wait till it is almost 15 minutes to go or 30 minutes to go. You will never get the chance to join. Don't wait till late hour. Join now, say your stuff, and others will say theirs, right? And to those of you who are currently watching on YouTube, remember you need to also drop your offering, like the broadcast, all right? Share it and subscribe onto my channel. If you're watching me on Facebook, go to my YouTube channel. That's not, the key person. It's the same thing. Sign into your YouTube. subscribe to my channel, and then you will never miss anything. And you can easily be part of this as well whenever YouTube or Facebook rather is acting up. So we'll take another minute break before I will screen all the parliamentarians that are there. Put on your camera, mute your microphone, okay? So when I get back, we will continue. That's right. I think some of my parliamentarians tonight are not possibly listening to me. Only, can you believe this? Only one person is actually putting on their camera, and I can see your face. By the way, if you can hear me, I can see you. It's just that I am beginning to feel like, you know what? If it is going to be hard for people to follow a simple instruction, put on the camera and all of that, maybe it is going to be a little bit complicated tonight. So maybe we should just forget the people's parliament. Should we? All right. It's like people are beginning to put the camera on now, right? Fine. So please check your network as well to make sure that at least you have that chance, you have that space, and your network can at least last us for another 5 minutes. And remember what I said. It's like, yeah, people are beginning to put it back on now. Thank you very much. If you heard me and you begin to put your camera back on, you can also mute the microphone if you can still hear me, okay? Sorry, I'm talking to them. I can see them in my studio right now. All I need to do is to start bringing them on, okay? I have at least 3 of them, of my parliamentarians who have followed the rules. They've put on their camera and they are waiting. So I'm going to bring them on. And just like I said, the moment people don't follow that, I'll stick to those who are around and we'll round it up tonight. There's no pressure. So it's planned that way. So I have, sorry, one sec. I'm going to bring those who have actually put their own camera on. I have 3 of us who have put our cameras on, which means we are ready to have a chat. So something is because your microphone is muted, right? It's on mute. So once I just say anything, you can just wave to say you can hear me, and then we can start. Okay. So can you hear me? Brilliant. So again, I kind of urge others who are still in the studio to put on the camera. So once this kicks off now, and I realize that not many of you are actually willing to come on, okay? I am going to block you off, and then I'm going to stick to those who are around, and we're going to call it evening. But let's start with my first one. Is that Jay? So I'd rather call you Sir Jay. So Jay will go first. And the rule is very simple and straightforward. It's not complicated, okay? Number one, the moment you begin to speak, time starts, and you only have 5 minutes to say everything you want to say. Because between that 5 minutes and after that, I may have to bring your conversation to an end without even saying goodbye. So let's see how we can manage it tonight without much traffic, so to say. So I have others who have also turned on their own camera too. So I'm going to bring them on. So again, the way we do it is this. You can disagree with people, all right? You can disagree with me. Do you understand now, right? You can just say your mind on any kind of a conversation that you want to put up, all right? Other people are going to react. Now, if somebody says something that you believe that you disagree with, of course, state your disagreement by saying, I disagree with so-so person. That's why everybody is putting on their names or any name they want to be called, okay? So I disagree with this person, and then tell us your disagreement without having to call anybody name. I want to make it easy, kind of conducive for everybody. I agree that not everybody watching me right now actually agrees with me. And it's not because they agree with me that they are watching this Mayegun's Diary, okay? At least, wherever your own disagreement is, come and share with us, all right? But I will also advise you, we've never had that kind of unruly behavior before, okay? But if you join us, and because of these criminals, and you start attacking either myself or anybody here, I would like to remind you, your size stay here. Myself, my mouth is not really good. For those who know better, my mouth is not good. So before you come, just remember that I can receive and I can also give back. To avoid all of this, we actually advise decorum. Say your mind, say your disagreement, other people will say theirs. Very simple, right? Simple rules. So thank you so much, everyone. I am going to start with Jay, and I'm going to go to Sir Makinde. It's going to be you. Then Dami. Did I pronounce that, or Danny? Rather, Danny. Is that Daniel, by the way? So Danny, you are going to go after Sir Makinde. And I have somebody else who has put on their own camera too. And he's Air Force One. Now, Air Force One, you are going to hold the door so that when these three are done, it's going to be you. And from you, I'm going to move to those who are going to join us next. So after this, I'm mostly going to be just listener. And that's why that's where we are now. Sir Jay, how are you, sir? You can unmute. Okay, you've already unmuted.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, my brother. Compliments.
You, Baba. You have your shot now.
It's actually my first time calling into the parliament.
Thank you. Yeah,
yes,
go ahead.
It's actually my first time calling into the parliament. I'm from Calgary directly. My brother, the African Wahala. We also have our little YouTube channel that we also kind of emulate your energy as well. So J-Izo Expression is the name.
Oh, yes, sir. And it is what you said there. Hang on, no. I'm trying to pick that. 1 second. You said it's J-Izo
Expression.
I thought I should just pick the first one easily, but yeah, grand.
J-Izo Expression is the name. My brother, sometimes I try to emulate you, man, your energy. I wonder somehow how you get this whole a lot of energy, my brother. You're doing really, really, really good. We've spoken a lot on this channel. A lot has been said. So my question is, what is going to be the next move? What is the next agenda? What is the next step? What can we really do? Irrespectively, though, individually, we've tried our various parts to assist people back home. We've spoken with our family, friends, those that want to listen. But holistically, what can we, the diaspora, do to start this process? It doesn't look like people are really listening. It's just like, I think it's we in the diaspora that really carry this whole weight on our shoulder. because we are the one taking care of people back home. So the weight is on us. So those one back home, I think they are just like fat pigs. They don't really care. So we need to start something. Omoyole Sowore left his comfort in the United States here, went to Nigeria, and he had a slogan called Revolution.
Take it back.
But people didn't want to support him, maybe because he's not well known. Do we need somebody like Peter Obi who can stand his ground and announce this, just like we had the Ojukwu back in the days? So does that mean there's nobody like Ojukwu in our era that has balls that can start this? Because we need somebody who is going to be the speaker to the international level, who is going to represent. We are basically just ordinary people who nobody will listen to. So we need somebody who is well recognized politically or however that will start this movement, and people will join in troop, man, my brother. People are ready. I mean, look at the situation happening in Niger. When Nigeria were threatening they're going to invade Niger. Do you know how many black youth from every part of Africa went to Niger? They said they're going to fight for Niger. Because the life of Niger is not just about the Nigerians, it's the life of Africa trying to be liberated. But I think finally, the ECOWAS held that message. And what is happening right now, they stood back because they know that people are angry. Africa wants liberation. Africa wants freedom. So what can we as Nigerians living in diaspora? I have lived in Canada for 23 years. I was in the military. I left as a staff sergeant in the Nigerian Army. When I was in Nigeria, the lifestyle in Nigeria, if you talk about Nigeria those days, I will shoot you. That is the truth. But thank goodness for the opportunity that I had. I left. And since I came here, life is different. You have to see a different life. But those in Nigeria, when we are telling them, they are still imagining, is it a life different from a life they know? So therefore, like the life they know in Nigeria is all around the world. So they will feel like you're just trying to, intimidate them by telling them to do the right thing, because that is the lifestyle they have lived. They know all their life. So it's not easy to get into that brain. So we need to start something. I'm really glad. I watched I watched Sister Queen, going around to the royal villages. I watched also the brother from UK doing a tremendous job. They are touching the grassroots people there. We need more of that awareness, because the politicians know that Nigerians, we enjoy life, we like to talk too much. I mean, look at what happened during Mohbad's death. Youth took over. They wanted to go to the street. Mohbad needs to get justice. What happened? The police shot them, tear gas. They're claiming it was the obedience team that they're trying to dispatch them. So that means people can't even speak in Nigeria. I mean, what is the difference between this so-called democracy of these crazy men we have and military taking over in Nigeria? There's no difference, really, my brother. You know what I mean? There's no difference. Look at what is happening with this, our Tinubu, the president of Nigeria today. What kind of country are they building? But I want to thank you, my brother Mayegun, my first time calling in. I'm going to take my time. I respect every parliament. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, my brother. Brother, if you're there at the African Wahala, big ups to you, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And I believe at a point he's probably going to want to join us too, but keep watching, sir. And thank you so much for that, okay?
I sure do, always, man.
Yes, sir. Let's go to, that's Sir J. Izo expression. Now I'm going to go to Sir Makinde Emmanuel. You're short, sir. You can unmute, please.
Thank you so much, comrade brother.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much. Yeah, and thank you so much to my brother that just spoke, Sir J. Thank you for your submission. I will take it from there. I will chime in from there, and I will generalize my submission based on, there's two books that I was reading recently. There's one that I just started reading. It's called Deep Work by Carl Newport. And Carl Newport talked about the great restructuring. And when we look vis-a-vis where Nigeria is right now, and that brings me to the second book. It's the Green Book. It's by the late Mama Gaddafi. Chapter 9 of that book talks about how can the society redirect its course when deviation from its rule, from its law occurs. And I might not have enough time to go into all, but I'll read just the first paragraph. It said, If the instrument of government is dictatorial, as is in the case in the world political system today, society's awareness of deviation from its law is expressed only through violence to redirect its course. Nobody is supporting violence at this point. And it says revolution against the instrument of government, violence and revolution, even though they reflect the sentiment of the society regarding deviation. So I will stop there. Like I said initially, I will generalize my conversation, and my message is directed to all the conscious mind out there. My brother, well done for what you are doing. Like the last time I had the opportunity of being on the show, said it takes a brave heart to jump in the arena with the gladiators. And when we look at the docile states that Nigeria is, unfortunately, uh, we found ourselves where we are. And as it is all over the world right now, the whole economy, the whole world is going through a great restructuring. But Nigeria is not even yet waking up from the sleep of 2 days ago. And here we are. We are still struggling, to even find our identity when every other country has moved on. Recently, India launched into space.
That's right.
India is not having it better than we are having it in terms of what we are going through. But they are able to do what? Turn what they are going through, at least manage their situation. But here we are. Look at the the so-called Adan Oshiomhole, who happens to be somebody known to be, you know, the man, the people person who is fighting for the people. At the end of the day, he has joined the bandwagon. So that tells us a whole lot about the system we have, the structure that we have in Nigeria. And if someone like you and so many other comrade brothers out there are saying this, and the people are still not listening, and the people are not hearing what they should be hearing, like I used to say, I say when the postmaster general brings the mail to the boss, unfortunately, the people that are supposed to receive the mail are not available. So that is the way I see the case of Nigeria. But as you've always rightly said, you know, everybody will continue to do their bit. Like the brother that spoke earlier said, where are we going from this junction? We can do a lot individually, but until we realize the strength in our unity, in our oneness, the prophet of old has said it so many ways. The Malis, the Felas, the Lucky Dubes, the Peter Tosh. The message has been so clear, and now the message keep coming back again. But Akoetiku, and we refuse to hear. So, my brother, thank you for all you are doing. Please, sir, let's continue to do the bits we can. We can't save the whole world, but if we can save our micro space and liberate the mindset of those in our space, at least posterity can say about us that we've done the best we can. Thank you so much. I yield the mic.
Like, Sir Emmanuel, that's a very brilliant one from you, Jay. And a lot of people are already commenting, how can I get that book? I want that. Because that your first paragraph has summarized is something that is so similar to that popular saying that when peaceful change is made impossible, violent change will be made inevitable. We are getting there. You have a good one, sir. Thank you so much. So that is Sir Makinde Emmanuel. Idris has joined us. One of us seems to have dropped off, so I'm just going to go straight to your first one. You also have 5 minutes, sir. Good to see your face again.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. All right. Thank you, Mr. Michael, for everything that you do. More strength and energy. So I saw something today. Also, I'm going to touch base with what you said yesterday about your experience at the embassy. So I saw where they were protesting today in Nigeria they call it prayer protest. Prayer protest in regards to, they said the sovereign that Tinubu created from all this subsidy removal and everything. So the next thing for Nigerians to do is to be protesting and doing prayer protest.
Prayer.
So, are you all hearing me?
Yeah, we can all hear you. You are on the screen because you are
Okay.
the one talking.
Okay. So, I mean, that kind of surprising to me that with all these things we've been talking about, prayer protest, protest is the next line of action for them. I mean, don't get me wrong, I believe in prayer, but sometimes we always put Nigerians don't take the bull by the horn. They always put the cart before the horse. So they don't do what they're supposed to do, in handling situation sometimes at the right time. Now, regarding the passport devaluation, that was devalued yesterday, and your experience at the embassy, I said something the other day. Probably that will be the last parliament that when the tribunal ruling is about to come out, that two things will happen. It's either it will bring more honor to the nation and to Nigerians, or it will bring dishonor to the country called Nigeria and also to Nigerians. And one of the, and like I always said, my Egun, that everybody go collect. Now everybody go eat breakfast. Now it might now just be in different form, different kind, but everybody at some point will collect. And we already started collecting. And one of our what everybody will be collecting is what just happened to you yesterday at the embassy. Then also, and this has been going on for a long time. Anyways, I wasn't surprised, like how Nigerians have been treated whenever we probably at the point of entry or you are trying to exit. Once you are a Nigerian, they look at you somehow. The whole countenance will change once they know you are from that place. But I mean, should we say we were born to Nigeria by mistake? That it's an error that we were born in.
Is it a mistake?
Is it a mistake? But it's not a mistake. And I also want to say one thing today, that sometimes we look at all these our leaders that they are stupid, or they go like of recent when they went to Rwanda, governors went to Rwanda for whatever training they went to. I was shocked.
They wanted to go and learn how for good governance.
So I was saying to myself, like, so these people, they are you telling me now that I'm not saying this to mock Rwanda or something like that, but this is a nation whereby people are supposed to be coming in and be tapping knowledge from us, not we even going to them. Not we going to them. They're supposed to be coming to us.
Bro, it's like these criminals are bag of failures. They're like bag of failure, right? That
yes.
tells you, they have nothing to show anybody that anyone is coming to learn from anyway, right? Go on, please. You have another 3 minutes, by the way. Go on,
yes,
Baba.
Yes. So like you said, a bag of failure. So to the world, it's not going to be showing us, like portraying us like somebody that we are an entity that, like as a Nigerian, we don't know what we are doing. And that's not true. These leaders are very smart. I believe they are very smart. They just don't want to do the right thing. Because they will get inside their private jets, fly over here, either to the West, to Europe, to UK, all the nooks and crannies of this developed world, and they see the way things are done. But they can't even come and do what? Copy whatever they see over here, what they experience, and establish it in the nation that they govern. The head of what is this man in one of the leaders in Dubai, Al-Makaton. Is it Al-Makaton? I don't remember how to say that name. Is there something one day? Probably their prime minister, or I think probably it's their king.
They usually call them sheikh. They are sheikh,
okay, Sheikh Al-Makaton. Yeah, he said one thing one day. He said whenever he travels, mostly to the Western world or developed world, and he sees something that he likes, he said he brings it over and build it in his own country for his people.
For his own people.
For his own people. So who among our leader for the past 24 years in this demonstration of craziness, greediness, sufferness, wickedness, impunity, has traveled like they've always been and brought something and established it in our nation for their own people. I mean,
thank you so much.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, first one. It's good to hear from you again, Baba. So take it easy, okay?
Thanks for the opportunity.
I am going to go to Idris. The reason why some of the people that were supposed to be put on the screen are not on this screen is because, you see, some people still feel like, maybe until I call their name, that is when they're going to put on the camera. It doesn't work that way. When your camera is on, you are telling me I am ready to come and speak my mind now. I want to come and say my own. But when you join through that link and you put the camera off, you are telling me that you are not ready. But I'm just going to go straight to Idris. It is your shot, brother. You also have another 5 minutes, please.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Mayegun, and good
evening, bro.
Good evening, everybody. Please, I think I'm audible. Am I?
The network is not so great, but I will leave you to it. You are audible. Yes, just continue.
Oh, all right. Yes. I want to speak pertaining to this our Naira, our devaluation of Naira, which has go back to let me just put it as it is. Yes. This morning, I was on social. So there is a presentation of which I almost shed tears that, wow. So this is how our Naira has been so devaluated. The analysis says that in 1.5 dollars, then a value of the value as that of 1 million in 1993. Later, it goes down to the value of $45 or something. Fast forward to the value of 1 million naira. Now it is now $1,284. So I checked the statistic. Then I realized that seriously, for any government to come and restabilize the naira or change everything that is currently happening in this country, it will never take my generation. It will not take my generation at all, because it will. I don't know if probably it will be the next generation after the child, all these the Gen Z country. Why can't we just change everything? I don't understand. Things are not going as it should be. Going. Things are just going down. The value to this time, the phone, if you go and check the phone, it is almost 200,000, 200 plus. I'm just talking concerning the phone. What about other commodities? Now, things are just going wrong in this country, and I don't see. Like I keep saying, my father shouted up NEPA. Yes, I have a kid now. She also shouted up NEPA. What does that state? I don't have much to say. Everything in this country is rubbish.
It is your to also kind of express yourself. The network is not your friend, but you managed to say one or two things.
Thank you very much, sir.
Easy and stay safe too, okay? Have a good one. Now, that is Idris, who is joining us from Nigeria, and the network wasn't that great in that part of Nigeria. But yeah, let us now go to these other 4 parliamentarians who are also waiting. We are yet to have a woman, a female parliamentarian yet, but we'll stick with this gentleman. But let's start with Chris. Chris, I'm going to come to you, then I'm going to go straight to Sir Raymond Zaza. Then Dr. Akinyemisa. It's good to see your face, by the way. So I'm going to come to you after Raymond, okay? And I'm going to let, Sir James, Biola, you would be the one to hold the door now, so that if you're still here before, Dr. Akinyemi finishes, right? It's going to be your shot, and the next people who are going to come after, they will come after you, okay? Remind me of that as well, sir. However, let's go to Chris. Chris, it's good to see your face again.
Good afternoon, and Maigu, thank you for giving me a platform again. But I always watch your show, and I always try to call in, but unfortunately, I can't get in. But I always watch your show every time. And funny enough, my mom actually knows the show. That is how funny it is. But so this was good. I'm actually in the US.
Chris, the network was really bad there. I missed everything you said when you mentioned mom. I didn't hear the rest. Oh, can you hear me? No, Chris has frozen. I don't know. I think because I'm so sorry, Chris. It's so bad. We couldn't hear you. And we can still hear you, by the way. Very sorry. So Raymond Zaza, sir, your shot. And as usual, right? It's 5 minutes for everyone. And please, over to you, sir.
Okay. Please permit me to subscribe to the existing protocol.
You are most welcome.
I'm going to go straight to the point. Mayegu.
Yes, sir.
I must say thank you for what you're doing. So I just want to go straight to the point, okay? You see, you made mention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
I did.
So you see those southeastern governors or leaders or whatever they call themselves, the same thing as you mentioned that Nnamdi Kanu asked them and told them or made a demand when they called him to come and have a discussion with them.
That's right.
The same thing they were making, that economic summit they have, was it today or yesterday?
Today,
they were discussing the same thing.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, they were discussing the same thing that Nnamdi Kanu told them to do, and they went to kill him. Even he made mention of them connecting the railway to 3 major parts of the country to the southeast. Okay, the Enugu state governor was there saying they want to connect all the southeast states, make a railway to connect all the southeast states. That was the same thing in Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu was not even asking them to connect all the 5 southeastern states. He asked them connect from Lagos to south and from central Nigeria to the south to aid movement of goods and people.
That's right.
And if you check it, the railway that they have, where they were able to successfully constructed from other parts of the country, if you checkmate the economic value and the revenue those railways generate, cannot be compared to what would have been generated if a railway was connected from Lagos or central Nigeria down to the southeast. I know everybody know that, and I stand to be corrected. That is part number one. The number two, he also mentioned of Seaport. I don't know if everybody is aware of the congestion of the only international or the biggest seaport we have in Nigeria today. I'm not going to go into details in that one. Many people here know that one. And Mayogu, I give you thumbs up for that too. The number three, Nnamdi Kanu said, please, an average Igbo man just needs an equal ground. An Igbo man doesn't want to drag with you in politics. Just give them an equal playground, and you're going to see he or she is going to do wonders. Mayogu, that is my number one. Number two, I'm going to touch a little bit about David. That David guy that I want to pick up.
Mayegu, Nigeria is a big ocean, and we have violent and deadly sharks in that ocean, which are the politicians. And some of the other African countries, my brother, I'm gonna tell you guys, most of them dance to the tune of Nigeria because Nigeria claim to be the so-called big brother. I'm gonna go about, but we pray that nothing happened to that guy. That is one is the part. The number, my third point, I want to go into this. When we make mention of if people living abroad like us, that I'm calling from BC, British Columbia, people in abroad will start going in international centralization about the decay of Nigerian judiciary, because Nigerian judiciary are the problem we're having in that country. Believe you me, like nobody now, a common man cannot go or walk into any lawyer's office or any court and expecting to get justice without the rubber. If you understand what I mean by the rubber. The number 4, I'm just going to pick my point. I know people are waiting to say. I know that.
Now.
Okay. Sorry. Quickly. So my last point, I need to fold my arms and say this. How did we get here? Oshomole was telling the Senate president, he made mention of when Naira was 1.5 per dollar. They are the ones that were in conjunction that made us to get where we are today. And you see all those politicians, if we start to give them the treatment they deserve, now that's when we will get to the position or starting to get to where we want to go to. You see, there's something Nnamdi Kanu was doing. Those ill and corrupt politicians in Nigeria, when they travel to abroad, the treatment they gave to Ekweremadu, if that treatment is still going on today, most of them will not. Okay, imagine Tinubu is in nobody know where he is. Either is he in France or in US. He was hiding everywhere. Anybody know where he is. Because if that treatment that Nnamdi Kanu was giving to those politicians, they're scared of traveling. Because people in abroad are going to give them woto.
That's right.
Please, with this, I try to round up. And thank you very much. Everybody have a good one.
Thank you so much, Sasa. You did so well, right? Now, Chris is back. And in order not to extend it too much, Chris, I know the network was really, really bad at the time. But now I have 2 ladies in the house. But I'm going to let you finish your shot so that we don't modulate up, okay? Now, let's try it again. Your shot now, please. Chris.
Yes, thank you so much. I have to turn off the phone and restart back the phone. So, like I said, calling from from California. I know I've been on your show, and thank you for always giving me your platform to call in and voice my opinion. And I said it's quite obvious. The other day I was home. I get to find out my mom actually knew about you because I was about to tell my mom, but my mom said, "Oh, mayegu.com." My mom is almost 70. So my mom said, "Oh, mayegu.com." He said, "I watched him show." I was surprised, like, okay, all right, it makes sense. So, my little contribution is this: when you literally get to look at Nigeria, and especially Tinubu becoming the president, like I said, first of all, I know people will be angry when I said this. I said we should give kudos to Buhari, because Buhari comes in, wake up the youth, and expose the system, right? Tinubu then within Nigeria and Africa. Now they brought Tinubu, right, to further expose the whole Nigeria corrupt agenda worldwide, and he's very good at doing it. Now I'm telling people, everybody that is on this platform and everybody watching from home, first of all, we should give kudos to the obedient. We should give kudos to Peter Obi, and at the same time, we should give kudos to Atiku Abubakar, because he's now acting like a real politician. Instead of him gagging and run to these things. Because now Atiku is furthering exposing Tinubu on international scene, especially with this Chicago team. And the thing is this: Tinubu is becoming a president. I know everybody knows to where he's not having a good night's sleep, because nobody want to associate with him and his policy on international stage. Even on the local stage within Africa, they are all being like, me, I don't want to associate myself with this guy. They should think I'm a drug dealer as well. Especially now they know the whole wide world put camera on him. Now everybody, even Biden, why does Biden run? Next year is our presidential election. Even Joe Biden's son has a problem with the FBI. Everybody think it's only this guy. What is Trump? It's not only Trump. Joe Biden's son has a problem. So Joe Biden know this guy is a drug dealer. And people, you know, our American politics is extremely different from Africa or Nigeria politics. Once they seen Biden is hanging up with Tinubu, it's a big problem for him on his political career and everything that has to do with his personality as well. With all the accusation himself, Biden actually got right now, due to whatever his son is going through. Because remember, his son is a crackhead as well, you know, is a drug abuser. So now a crackhead father try to mingle up with a drug dealer, a cartel. So you can see Joe Biden actually FBI warned him. You can't go close to this guy. He's a walking exhibit. So he ran away because Republican will use it for a debate. He ran. That is how American politics work. Because they will ask him to resign. You can't be associating with someone that is killing our children with whatever they are this thing. At the end of the day, you want to rule us. It can't happen. You have to, you know, resign. And you understand? He knew all this thing. That's why he disappeared. And he didn't even want to have anything to do with him. Now, even
Chris, no, I wish I could listen to you all night. Like I wish I could with others. Okay, that is all. Thank you. Right?
Thank you.
Have a good. Right. I like that aspect of bringing in Biden and seeing the international disconnection with Tinubu instead of him being welcomed by almost everyone in the world. I mean, it is Nigeria, and you just have a new president. The usual way is that your new president will be like celebrity all over the world. But it seems the world is trying to be very careful around Tinubu, and we all know why. Now, because it is our rule, I am kind of stuck in the middle here. But because it is our rule, I'm going to plead with everyone to let us give the ladies the slot for them to express themselves in between right now. It's going to be 5 minutes as well, I promise you. However, we love ladies first whenever they show up in the parliament. And I believe you are all gentlemen. I've got this, damn it. Anyway, I believe you are all gentlemen. You will kind of let that fly, Abby. So I have the first lady, Victorious. I love that. So our lady, Victorious, will go first. Then I also have here Princess Omoba. So she's going to go next, okay? Then I am going to come to Martinelli. I wish I actually kept the record where you are like brushing that. I didn't want to just put you on the camera. I should have. But Baba, I can cite Martinelli, by the way. But let's take the ladies, okay? Then I'm going to come back to the man who is holding the door, Abiola James. Then I think before then, we are going to deal with Dr. Akinyemi. Thanks so much for your patience, also, right? It is just kind of the tradition, all right? So we're going to let the ladies speak. I am coming to you, ma. Victorious. You also have 5 minutes, ma. Please. I can help you on mute. Let's see. Okay.
Okay.
Go on, ma.
Thank you.
So well.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Mayegun. I'm so happy, very excited to be able to call into. Actually, today is my first time trying.
Oh,
you know, yeah. But I watch you like almost every day. You know, my mom is 80 now. You know, actually, I'm calling from Chicago, Illinois, and my mom calls you my boyfriend. You're watching your boyfriend again. You know, my children mimic your intro music, you know, so it's all fun for the whole family. You know, you're doing a good job. God will bless you. We love the truth. You are saving lives. You are keeping people alive. You know, it's from your platform that I'm able to know exactly what is going on in Nigeria. You're like the CNN of Nigeria, you know. So thank you so much for that. And I share your program in different platforms I belong as well. So that because the main thing here is to educate people.
That's right.
A lot of people in Nigeria don't even know what they are dealing with. They leave these people in darkness. There's no electricity. You can't even watch television. You can't even listen to the news. You know, even when they go online, you know, most times they are struggling to be able to afford the I don't know what they call it, airtime, I will call it.
They call it data. I mean,
oh, data. There you go. Data. Thank you. So one of the parliamentarians was asking, what can we do? I believe every one of us has something we can offer. You understand? And we have to come together. It's not, this fight is not for one tribe. I come from Southeast, by the way. Okay. Yes, and I've been in this country for like 20 years. You know, when I was living in Nigeria, 2003, I was like, this country is not for me. That was like 20 years ago. You can imagine what people are going through right now. You know, so going back to what I was saying, what can we do? We all have to rally around. Forget where you're from in Nigeria. Forget your tribe. Forget your religion. We are all going through this. You know, let's educate one another. Let's put heads together and see how we can fight this elephant in the room. Our politicians, they don't care.
They don't.
One thing I believe in life is that we don't see God. We don't see the devil. It's the spirit of God goes into human beings and they perform the work of God. The spirit of the devil goes into human beings and they become demons. You understand? And when people are possessed, they have eyes, they don't see. They have ears, they don't listen. They don't hear nothing. Okay? So you are not dealing with human beings. You are dealing with the devil himself. And what is the work of the devil? To come, to kill, to steal, and to destroy. The devil is not coming to save anybody. You understand? And I'm sorry, I'm going to bring my religion to this. Okay.
No. Sorry. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. So by their fruits you shall know them. I don't believe in what anybody tells me. If you come around me, staying with you for maybe few minutes, I will know who you are and what you stand for. You understand? And these politicians, they are so devilish. You understand? But for us in diaspora, there is so much work to do. And I thank you and the princess, for what you are doing in Yoruba Union. Okay, you can in America they will say it's not what your government can do for you, but what you can do for your government. Okay, we have roles to play, from our families to the community to the local governments to the state. You know, I believe in many organizations here. In my town, we have this very bad health care center. Okay, and it's been bad for years. But recently, some groups in diaspora and some in Nigeria, we kind of like team together with them. You know, we do fundraising, we do whatever we can do, we do conventions, we raise funds. If you go there right now, it's like it's like very nice. It's not even community center anymore. It's now a hospital. You understand? And when you start doing this, people will see what you're doing and they will start donating to you. Right now, it has dialysis center.
You know, when you have something to tell them about those, they will want to listen to you because now they have shown interest in their care.
Yes.
Bless you for what you did, and you and your team. Yes, ma'am.
Seriously, now we have dialysis center there. The other day we had to ship X-ray machines and whatever equipment that is needed to get it running. Shipped it from China. It cost a lot of money, but we were able to do it. Okay. On my own personal end, there was a time, you know, I just contacted some of my friends. So just a few. I didn't even know it was going to work because I don't even know how to beg people for stuff, you know. But I just said, this is for the spirit of Christmas. Let's give me whatever you have. $20, $10 will go a long way. And guess what? We were able to raise a lot of money. Okay. And we went to different hospitals and we were able to discharge a lot of mothers that cannot even discharge themselves from the hospital, you know, and they were so grateful. And people are still contacting me till today. When are you doing it again? This and that. You see, just start a movement and people will join you. When they see what you are doing, they will join you. You understand? The Bible said, Paul planted, Apollo watered, but it's God that will bring the increase. Okay? Don't underestimate yourself what you can do. If it's a good thing that will save humanity, that will save lives, this is the number one message of God or the Christian religion. You understand? It's for the lost, it's for the poor, it's for the needy, it's for the widows. Just start what you are doing, the good projects you are doing, and God will do the rest for you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Right? Like others, like I said, right? I could listen to everyone. Like, you shouldn't stop talking, but yeah, we'll just do it, manage the time, and I appreciate this. Okay, thank you
so much
for giving
You're
time
welcome.
to it, man. Take care,
You're
and have a
welcome.
good night. Say well to Mama. Okay, tell her I
All
said.
right, I will. I will. Thank you.
You should just stay at this part where I said, "This is for you, Mom. If you are watching, okay."
I'll play it for her. I'll play it for her. Thank you, Mayegun. God bless you. Bye-bye.
One, okay. So that's a beautiful one. I have somehow lost Omoba Princess. So we will wait for her to join again. But let's go back. Abiola, I am going to let a doctor to take their own shots now, okay? Then I'll come back to you, sir, before we then go to Martinelli and others, right? Dr. Akinyemi, sir, your turn. I'll help you on mute. Let's see if I can help you. 1 second, sir. I think that is you.
Yes.
Please.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
God bless Mayegun. Yes. Happy Thursday. God bless you. Now.
Agbede.
Yes.
Doctor, you only have 5 minutes, so share you get. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, all right? But I just want to remind you have a lot of fans on this in this temple of truth, so when they hear Dr.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mayegun. Once again, happy Thursday. Now, firstly, I will thank Joe Biden for him to have listened to me that time when I said he should not just attempt it in a meeting with Bola Tinubu, and because all the while Amina J. Mohammed has been deceiving them. And I told Joe Biden and Jeff Zients, that's the chief of staff, I said, no. Don't take the word of Amina Mohammed to see the true picture of what is going on in Nigeria. But thank God, he listened. So thank the praise. So I'm just use that to thank Joe Biden. Now, quickly, this justice for Mohbad, just for Mohbad. Okay, we are just praying that maybe that may be underlined for the very first time. So someone in Nigeria will get justice, because if you can recollect that whereby a woman that is a mafia wife can face the camera and the whole world and said that she thanked God that only the driver they killed, because she regarded that the driver is not a human being. Whereas the driver that was killed was conveying her kids to school early in the morning of a long Festac town, when the armed robbers that wanted to change their vehicle stopped the driver, because the driver refused to allow them taking the vehicle. The armed robbers instantly killed the driver. And this incident occurred on the early 90s when the legendary broadcaster Frank Olise was anchoring NTA Newsline. So the question to all Nigerian populace is that a Nigerian mafia, a Nigerian's mafia wife, how can a woman boldly came out and facing the camera and the whole world and said that she thanked God that only the driver they killed? Food for thought. So let's now take the word only now, because now when they say only, ONLY, because that's what the mafia always said, only. Number one,
just that.
Is it not only the Minister of Justice Balage that was killed? That was why they didn't get justice up to today. Is it not only Professor Aldabi was killed? That was why up to today no justice. Is it not only Funshaw Williams was killed? That was why up to today no justice. So that would only to be. So let us pray that maybe this time around they can remove that only and get justice for Mohbad. So, but all other things classified. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Yeah. You have done your bit again. And let me tell you right? You have blessed this platform with a face of wisdom behind that voice of wisdom. When we say Dr. Agbede, it's such a pleasure to finally meet you, sir. Stay safe, eh?
God bless you.
And you have
God
a good
bless you.
Thank you so much. Abiola, it is going to be you and I now, sir. And it's 5 minutes as well, okay? But just while you are going to take your shot, okay, just a moment. I also need to introduce other parliamentarians who have now taken the shot. However, the reason why I am going to play with our lady, Omolara Adiremima, is because Abiola James has been holding the door for a while. So I was just wanting to leave so that another person can hold the door. Right? Yes, ma'am, right? So you're going to go after him. Then me and Martinelli, we are going to discuss how we... Oh, no, wait. Where's... Okay, yeah, you're there. However, Abiola, sir, after you, I'm coming to my lady there, or Molara Adiremi, and I will share the slot again, okay? Thank you so much, everyone, for your patience, okay? We are almost done. It's always 5 minutes. Sir, your shot.
Good evening, Mayegun.
Good evening, sir.
I want to appreciate you for your good work, like others have done.
Thank you.
God will continue to bless you.
Amen.
I really want to respond to one of our parliamentarians who have, and I think maybe the third or the fourth person who was talking that some Nigeria were doing prayer rally or something like that. I just believe
Go on, sir.
I just believe whatever anybody can do, they should do it in whatever form. The truth is that nobody should be quiet, nobody should be silent about what is going on in the country. If it is prayer rally they want to do, please let us support and let us appreciate them for even coming out to do that. When we know that even doing rally is not even an easy task in that country now. So I want to appreciate those ones, and we should not, for me, I don't want us to discourage them. That is number one. Number two, we have talked about these things. If there is no rule of law in Nigeria, we go nowhere. And that is why when we are running out of the country, we either run to Canada, either run to UK, either run to America. Why are we running to all those countries? Because there is a rule of law. There is no, now the son of number one citizen in the world, like you want to put it, is on trial. And nobody will say, why should he be on trial? Or why should he be Joe Biden's son?
Even American former president.
Yeah, even American former president. Until our justice system is being reformed, we go nowhere. We are not going to. Okay, Boko Haram are fighting here and there. We are not prosecuting anybody. They will go and kidnap students. They will kill those who they will kill. We know these guys, and we are not doing anything. And the thing is festering every day. Like this man, Joe Odumaki, the husband, that said a time is coming when they started hawking, what is that word? He said restructuring. That when we started, hawking restructuring, and nobody will be interested in buying it. A time is coming with the way we are running Nigeria, that even when we talk about politics or politicians, nobody want to go into it. Do you know why, Mayegun? Because today in the country, there is no road, no water, there is no education. Mention anything. Today, Ray Power, they were trying to do in their political platform stuff. They were trying to receive call of people to know where we are in Nigeria, what development have done. I think in that program, about 7 or 8 people called in. Mayegun, none of them could say, this is what we have done successfully in the country. And so, tomorrow, if I want to become the governor of Ogun State, I will have to think, where am I starting from? Because there is no road. The road that link my house, I can't get out from that road. I will have to leave my car inside before I even jump back to this place, even up to today, that road is becoming impassable. Nobody can pass through that road. Even if you are driving jeep, you can't pass through that road. And up to today, in my area, there is water. So people who talk about Tinubu build Lagos, and we started asking them, Tinubu build Lagos, there is no pipe-borne water in Lagos State, and water surround the Lagos State. Water is in my area, and I don't have pipe-borne water done by the government to give me water in my house. I will have to dig my own borehole. And so, because we are not doing anything, when tomorrow comes, anybody who wants to become a politician, we have to think twice before he goes there, because he knows it's going to be hell. Because we are not, it just for me, with what I've seen in this country, I told you when I came into UK, it was my brother that loved your program, and he's in his room. I know you'll be listening. But the truth just remains that with what I have seen here, it's just as if we have not started doing anything. We have not started
Thank you so
doing
much,
anything.
Sabiola.
Security.
I know. Thank you very
I want
much.
to thank you. God bless you for the good job you are doing. Thank you so much.
I hope I'll have a chance of sharing more evenings like this with you in the future when we actually have that chance. So thank you so much. Okay, you have a good one. Let me quickly go straight to our lady, hello, ma. So we are going to give you that shot, like everyone else, and it is also 5 minutes, but such a pleasure to have you on tonight. Can you hear me, ma? Like everyone else, and it is also beautiful. I think that is you back on tonight. Can you hear me, ma?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Very loud and clear too.
Can you hear me?
Beautiful. I think that is you back on. Can you hear me, ma?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So you can now. You know, one thing is this, right? If you are using this phone,
good evening.
it's going to be echoing, ma. But I'll leave you to it, okay? You
Good
can
evening.
speak now. Yeah, go ahead, ma.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Mayigun. The first thing I will say is someone called
Echo.
about
Sorry, just continue, ma.
3 days ago, and the person was like, what we are doing, maybe we're just coming here and talk, something like that. Honestly, I need to tell the person that coming here, I know that it's enlightening some of us. And this program, this platform is so educative that no, I don't think anybody should say, oh, we're just coming here, talk. And what the person was like requesting for, like, what we need to do. What we need to do, we should put some certain things into consideration. Nigeria, for Nigeria to work, there is a lot of things to do for Nigeria to work. Me as a person, I don't believe in Nigeria anymore. I really lost hope in that country completely. And if you're going to put anything, set up any platform or anything to do, we should get our priority right. We should know what exactly we want, or where we want to channel our energy on. We can't just say this is what we're going to do, or just jump into what exactly we do. And also, the way the country is, like every other person I've been saying, that country is nothing that is working. And they're also, all the people there, they see the same set of people that are there.
That's right.
How do we come in? What exactly do we want? How do we even like those people in diaspora? What exactly are we going to address? There's a lot of things to deal with, right? But definitely it's really good if you can just get together, regardless of your tribe, regardless of your religion or any other thing. We need to forget about that. We need to know exactly what we want. yes, if you want the same certain, it's the same thing, yeah, then we just have to, I mean, we need those people that are really like-minded to come together, right? And we need to get our priority right, because in that country, there's nothing that is working at this moment. And I don't think, with the set of people that are there, I don't think there's anything that can work.
No. Thank you
I
so much.
don't think so.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
don't think so. So, may God help us. May God help all of us. So I don't really want to take much of the time because of other people. So, God bless you.
God bless you.
If there's anything we can do, we all can just think about what we have to do and get our priority, and also channel our energy on what we know that will be the outcome, at least.
Really.
So,
Thank you
thank
so
you so
much.
much,
Yes.
Mayegun. God bless you. My regards to your
You
family.
too.
Thank
Amen to
you.
that. Okay. Stay safe, ma. We are having issue with that network, but we managed it, and you did well, ma. So you stay safe, okay? And good night. From here, the network was going to be acting up earlier. Now, gentlemen, the parliamentarian, I have three. I have three big men here, and it is going to be an interesting close-up. But I'm thinking I should reserve, Martinelli. For the last part, but it won't really matter. I already have Django too, and I have Toki. Satoki, you are going to go after Martinelli, because it seems that Martinelli has his own fans who are also kind of waiting right now, apart from all the engagement in the comment section on YouTube. But to make this work for all of us and the timing, I'm going to let Martinelli go first, okay? Then Satoki, you're going to go next. And it will now be myself and Django. Anyway, it's going to be me and you, sir, tonight to round it up, okay? So, Martinelli. Now we have a face beside that voice, as well as those fingers. Baba, you also have
Hello. Can you hear me, though?
Very well, sir. Please.
Thank you very, very much, Mayegun. Yeah, so this is the face. It's not a ghost, it's behind the keypad. So
it's not too scary as the voice.
No.
So which is good.
Well, it can be. So,
okay. So we should be careful, right?
It can't be.
Bless you, bro. Please, sir, go on.
So yeah, so thank you very, very much, Mayegun. One of the most amazing things about this platform is the fact that every now and again, different people just keep echoing, my thoughts, and even you yourself, everything you say here are things that I discuss with people every day. Your analysis, everything. There are conversations I have with people every day, and it's just whenever I come back here, it's just this program, you just you validate everything that I say to people. I just tell them, listen, I'm tired of talking. If you actually want to know better, just come here, come and listen to this man, and get yourself educated, because I have other things to do. I have a family to look after. I know you have a family to look after as well, but sometimes talking to Nigerians, I tell my friend African Wahala, I said, talking to Nigerians, I have one analogy that I use. It's like a bee trying to explain to a fly that pollen is better than shit. Flies, they dwell on shit.
Mm-hmm.
And bees, their food is pollen. So you trying to tell a fly that this shit you are eating, there's something better. The fly would never understand, because first of all, the fly was born on shit, and so it will continue to dwell on shit. So that's as when somebody like Trump made a reflection and said something about Nigeria being a shithole, it's you live on shit, you won't understand. You can't understand. And when we come here every day, try to make I'm not an accountant. I'm not a banker.
Economist.
I'm not an economist, but just common sense. Somebody told you that he's going to widen the tax net and is going to reduce your purchasing power. And what did you do? You clapped. And then that man came, he now reduced your purchasing power and he now widened your tax net and you are crying. Are you mad? You clapped. You clapped for him. He said he's going to widen your tax net and it's going to reduce your purchasing power. You clapped. And now you're now crying that he widened your tax net and he reduced your purchasing power. Are you mad? Like, I don't understand. Nigeria, like, what's wrong with you people? Like, I don't understand. You're asking for savior to come and save you. You are saying diasporans, we are always trying to look for trouble. But the life you're living, is it worth living? Is it worth living? I don't understand how somebody will perpetually remain inside a contraption that you don't have light, you don't have good roads, you don't have, basic amenities. And we're trying to tell you that they are basic. You can have better. You can do better. But you're telling us that we're looking for trouble, that we want you to do what?
To go and fight the
people, they don't mean well for you. They come here. I live in UK. They come here. They see all these things. When your fucking politicians, when they come here, they don't enter. They don't have escorts. They enter public transport. They're like normal people. We see them here. They don't have escort. They don't have bodyguards. But they come back home and they have bodyguards. They have all this rubbish that they do back home. And then when we try to explain, when we try to tell you people that this is not a way to live, you tell us that we're looking for trouble. I mean, like somebody like me now. I mean, the other day when people were giving their experiences about how the reason why they left Nigeria, I was unable to come here because it was my birthday. So maybe I will just use this opportunity to just give a little.
Okay, now you've got 2 minutes more anyway, so quickly.
Thank you very much. So in 2010, I'm from Edo State. In 2010, my brother came out in Edo State. I'm from Edo State. My brother came out and decided to contest a position in the House of Rep. On the day he came out, it was in August. On the day he came out, I was just checking the calendar now, just trying to...
Just to be very certain. Of course, go on, Baba.
Just, it's 2010, just like yesterday that it happened. It was on the 10th of August, 2010. He started his campaign around maybe like 10 a.m. in the morning. And by 8 p.m. in the evening, my brother he just got to his house, he opened his gate, he got in, and as soon as he went in, 4 guys with AK-47s, they came and they shot him.
God,
they shot my brother. And guess what, he didn't die. He didn't die immediately. He was rushed to the hospital. If you remember, I'm very sure you were in Nigeria then. If you remember, the doctors were on strike.
Hey.
In August 2010, doctors were on strike. Go and check the record. In that particular period, doctors were on strike. And they took my brother to 3 different hospitals. By the time he got to the 3rd one, which was UBTH, he had all his blood. He bled for 2 solid hours. He lost all his blood and he died. He died. I've spoken to him just a few hours before then because he sent a letter to Lagos to me to give to my dad for his campaign. He sent his stickers and some other thing. I didn't even know what he was doing because, like I said, I'm a soldier, so I don't even know anything about politics and all that. So when it was after he died, I now opened the letter and then I saw what was inside. But throughout all that process, my brother bled for 2 solid hours. The doctors were on strike. Nobody could save him. So like we say here every day, if Nigeria no happen to you, ladies and gentlemen, we will continue crying here. We'll continue shouting here. You will never understand. And I'm not going to come here and say Nigeria should not happen to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I pray Nigeria happen to you. I'm not praying because Nigeria happened to me, because apart from my brother being shot dead, other horrible things have happened to me. My uncle has been kidnapped in that same Edo State. My own uncle, till today, we don't see him. Me, when they follow the talk. So my own uncle, my mom's younger brother, my mom's elder brother was kidnapped in Edo State in 2016. We spent millions. Till today, we will never see him. We don't see him dead or alive. So when I come here, I know people see me in the comment section, I'm laughing, I'm doing all this. But I think they mad.
Martinelli.
Go.
I know, you know why? That's why I said that now everybody get their own angst and anger against Nigeria.
Yeah.
If all of us now realize that we have all these things to grind with Nigeria, maybe at a point, we'll begin to realize that we can't do anything without ourselves. We are getting there, Martinelli.
Yeah.
We won't stop. Baba, thank you so much. You stay safe, okay? And take it easy, Baba. Nice one. So that's Martinelli from London, by the way. Now, let's take it a bit further. Thanks so much for your super chat, by the way, for those who dropped theirs. So wonderful and generous. Now, let us go to Toki. Chairman, it is your shot now, sir. Please.
Michael, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay. Thank you for everything you've been doing.
Thank you so much.
More grace to your elbow.
Thank you.
Just like you've been saying, I think Nigeria has gone beyond redeemable. I mean, he's unrepairable. When I say it's unrepairable, even the people down there, some people did not see anything wrong with what is going on in that country of today. I was lucky. I won't say lucky. I was unfortunate to be in Nigeria 2 weeks ago. I just came back 2 weeks ago. What I saw, what I observed myself, is so disheartening. I shuttled between Ikorodu and Magodo. So the Ikorodu I'm talking about, I was not too far from the same place where Princess and the rest of the crew went to share books and everything to the students in that school.
That's close.
So that very close. So I have a conversation with someone close to that house, which is children benefited from what we did.
From here. Wow.
From here. So man, we're talking now.
Believe how you get connected to this whole thing.
I have no idea. Exactly. So could you believe this same man was telling me how we should have faith in Tinubu? So that would tell you there are some people that when you sit down and talk to them, they just want to listen to your whatever you want to listen, whatever you are saying to them. The only thing that's very, very important for them is to get what you want to give them. So when they go back out, they will do whatever they want to do. I want to go what did they That's on the other side. So when I found out.
Sorry about that. Yeah, sure. Go on, sir.
Can you hear me?
Very well, please.
Okay. When I found out that guy actually was rooting for Tinubu, then I called his attention to it. That because what we are talking about now is for everybody to benefit.
That's right.
We are not born to be a slave.
Tell them more.
We are not born to be a slave. In that same road, Maigo, there was a construction going on in that same road. Do you know the contractor that was giving that job to was selling bag of cement that was supposed to make for that road for the people in that area for 2,000 naira per bag? That same road, that same road that everybody will benefit from. Are selling that same bag. So tomorrow now, when that road is not done, nobody to talk to because almost all the landlord in that area participate in that little corruption there. So everybody mindset. I think just like one of your callers said one time, a long time ago, that God should just wake up one morning and just kill everybody in Nigeria and start all over. You know, the same thing around my go to where I was sitting down minding my business. This lady walked up to me, and old woman that I saw that an old woman was. He was begging. Then I asked her, why are you doing this? She said, there's nothing to eat, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, What do you intend to do with this money you are begging on now? He said, I plan on selling akara. How much is it going to cost you to sell that kind of, to start that kind of business? That lady says 15, that woman said 15,000 naira. Then I dig into my pocket. I give that lady 25,000 naira. Please, use this money to do exactly what you want to use it for. Then I said, okay. Then she left. Do you know 3 days later, I saw the same woman passing by, begging again.
It's coming back that same street.
Same way, because she thought that's an avenue of making money now. So there are some people that we actually help here truly, that they deserve the help. I was so upset that day when I saw her approaching people doing the same thing. So I won't keep much of your time. Nigeria has gone beyond repairable.
Wow.
We can't, there's nothing we can do. The little thing we are doing here, we just pray to God to grant our effort. That's all. Because when you talk to people sometimes, just look at the students now, the UNILAG student.
Yeah.
Could you believe that the UNILAG student now be the one paying the utility bill of that school?
Yes.
When they came in now, when they new people that come in now, they are charging them 15,000 naira for utility bill. Each student. So are you going to tell me 65% of those students won't go back to school because they won't be able to afford it?
They can't.
So when they say they are not going to school, some people already pay the school fees. Do you know how much they reduce out of 165,000?
How much? 10,000.
25,000 naira. And guess what? I have one of my neighbors that 3 of our kids was going to that school. Do you know Nigeria happened to that person? She couldn't afford to pay those students' school fees. I have to leave these people up.
Come in.
So are you going to tell me how is this person going to pay the school fees in the next 3 months? So,
and your education bank or to collect bank education.
No, that's just nothing but fraud. We all know that's just nothing but fraud. Nothing is going to happen to that. But like we said, let's just keep continuing about like we've been saying now. Baba going on the way.
That's true, Baba. Thank
you. Good night, Michael. God bless you.
I appreciate your time you spent with us like everyone else, okay? You have made this evening all worthwhile for a lot of us, okay? Thank you, too. And you stay safe, Baba.
Thank you.
Nice one, Baba. Thank you so much, So I'm going to go to Django. Sir, it is you and I now that will call it a night. How are you? So you can, let me see if I can unmute for you. And you also have 5 minutes, maybe some jara of a minute or 2 as well. But yeah, you're short now, sir, please.
Yeah, good evening, my evening. How is the family?
Well, we thank God. Thank you.
I'm not happy you're not coming to the United States because I remember you were supposed to come to the United States.
I know I was going to, but you know my story now. Everybody knows why.
I won't take your time. I'm calling in from Dallas, Texas. My first point is about the summit that the Southeastern governors had today.
Oh,
about the dredging. Alex Oti, the so far only Labour governor, has really shown that governance is something to depend on. Because if you see what he has done in 100 days, you will now start to think that what are all other governors doing with our money? Alex Oti is about taking over from Peter Obi, what Peter Obi did in Anambra State during his 8 years in governance. So I don't know if there is a way we could make a suggestion to them that it's a good thing to dredge the River Niger in Enugu or somewhere. I can't remember the name because I watched the seminar today. But I remember that a few time ago, the federal government was thinking of dredging River Niger in Lokoja, Kogi State to make it a seaport. And if you look at some places in Kogi State, especially the Gala parts, there are places that are boundaries with Enugu State. Why can't those governors, those eastern governors, still continue with the dredging in Lokoja as the seaport? 1. 2 is about Mohbad, justice for Mohbad. I watched Ronald Omokri's interview with, what was his name again? The musician Naira Marley yesterday. And any sensible person will know with AI now that everything can be staged. Voice can be staged. If you remember when Peter Obi's voice was staged, although he said he talked to Bishop Oyedepo, but things he said was not what were said. I'm an IT person, so voices can be staged. But I want to correct something to the world. Naira Marley has been to US in his life only 2 times. And they were immediately after the COVID. That's February 2021. I personally saw him those 2 times he came, as in personally. So why I'm bringing that up is, if he's talking that he was in US when Wumi, girlfriend of Mohbad, called him. So that means Renault is making it look like it's a recent thing. No, it's not recent. That's February 2021. So we should not be deceived. He's talking about what happened. He came February, then came 3 months later. Anywhere he is, he can challenge me. So we should not believe that thing is of recent. That whole thing is stage managed to mean maybe he was in US when he called. That was 2021 February. Then 3, please, what can everybody do through your platform on David Hundeyi's issue? If people can come together and file asylum for him. Because if you look at the warlord that is still in detention, EFCC chairman that is supposed to catch the corrupt that slapped and is now being treated as the corrupt person. Ghana is not a safe haven for David Hundeyi. So things can, through your platform, I don't know, you talk to him all the time. If it's to look for how to file asylum for him to leave that place, if not, let's not deceive ourselves, he is not safe.
It's not really disclosing his location that much, and I can understand why. But I have not made any proposal personally in that regard, because I don't want to kind of spook him, or I know a lot of people will be offering him a lot. But what I'm trying to figure out as well is that by asking, what would you like us to do? Would you need our help? Where would you need them? And I can always report back and ask my friends here and say, well, for David, let's try this and that and that and that. But yeah, I love your suggestion. We will get there.
Then my fourth point is, if you even see now, those of us in diaspora championing these things, people back home, I don't know, maybe it's because of the light issue or what, they don't even take these things serious. You talk to some people, they will still tell you that, and they will come back later to come and send message to you on WhatsApp that they need few money to take their parents to hospital to feed. Is it that if we stop sending people money home, it will make them get wiser to see that there's time for a revolution? For example, now, a fortnight ago, US listed 16 states in Nigeria that US citizens should not go to. Okay, if we say we are citizens and our second country here, home is still home.
It's still home.
But being citizen here and they are telling you not to go back home, what is really happening in Nigeria? I will beg through your whatever, we still know what is happening in Nigeria and hear from people back home, but we should sensitize our people back home, especially people who contribute to give books, everything that we should spread the gospel. Something has to be done. So that one day we don't just wake up, we can't go back to Nigeria again. God forbid that. Thank you for giving me the chance, and send me hi to Madam and the kids.
Same to yours as well. Tell them that we are grateful that I could borrow you for that 10 minutes. So thank you, sir. Okay,
thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Now I decided to take in just 2 extras, and these 2 extras is just going to be my own kind of extra for tonight. Okay, but you are going to help me by making sure that I am not dragged. Or we don't drag this too long anymore. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes each, because you've been there for a while, and I just felt like, let me, So let's just start with Charm. It's good to see you again, Charm. How are you, ma? Can you hear me, by the way? Let's see if I can unmute you, and you are not home. The network is probably not going to be our friend tonight. Can you hear me?
Hello, me or are you talking to me?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Me.
so the network is really, really bad. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure that it's just your area because it's raining here.
I can
So
be on the road. Now you've got just about 2 minutes, right?
okay, so I'm going to be so I'll be really, really, really quick, which is unfortunate, but really quick, right?
Go for it.
I feel like your
So sorry that the network is not going to be our friend. It's raining right there where she is, and then
are not really listening to you.
Go on, man.
I feel like we're not hearing you. We're not hearing exactly what you're saying, right? We're listening, but we're not hearing. Like one of the callers that said, "Oh, maybe there'll be justice for Mohbad and all of that." With the current situation in our country, there'll be justice for anybody. That's just the truth. Nigeria is in a special kind of mess, right? The other day when I was talking to somebody else about Nigeria, it's like you try to solve the problem. You are like you want to cut out this part and say, okay, let me try and cut out this part and save this. But you keep cutting and but you can't see the end because it's so bad. The problem is so ingrained. The problem of Nigeria is so ingrained that you're better off cutting off the whole leg because, trying to save it and trying to, patch it up and let's get along to go along and all of that is just not working for us, And that's why I feel like sometimes people are not really listening to what you're saying, to the information that you're giving to us on this platform. Like the ones in Nigeria who are waiting for
not listening.
Exactly. They're not listening. They're hearing, but they're not listening. Okay. The ones in Nigeria, how bad do you want it to get? Okay, you said up NEPA, me and you said up NEPA. Your children are saying up NEPA. Who do you want to say up NEPA again before you now say, you know what, enough of this madness? It's almost as if I don't know how much more you want to take before you now say, you know what, I don't even need the people in the diaspora. Right? You people, when NEPA manages to give you light, you watch TV shows, this and that and the other. You see how the other half lives. Why don't you say, why can't I live like this people? Why can't I have the same things that these people have? They don't have two heads, right? They have one head. I know that we have a lot of problems, but it's high time that, back home, don't wait for the diaspora. We're not trying to look for your trouble. We're not trying to, instigate anything. But I'm just wondering, how much more do you want to take before you say, you know what, enough is enough? Enough is enough, and help is not coming. I think we've been talking about, we belabored that point that there's nobody coming to save us. We are the ones that are going to save ourselves. When you think about how bad the country is, how bad the judiciary is, how bad the police is, sometimes I wonder for Peter Obi. You want to be president of this country. I pray for you because
you know what somebody told me, yeah? You know what somebody said, Somebody said that if it was during, it's Peter Obi that is there right now, and the Naira is over 1,000, a liter of petrol is over 600, and then with all of this, all these ones that people are saying they don't know how to protest, they would have shut down Nigeria by now. If it was Peter Obi, they would have everywhere now.
Shut down Nigeria. I have a lot of time because there are so many things I wanted to say to us, right? But you know what? I just encourage people to keep on listening to the show and try and hear what Maegu is saying, okay? And then there's something Anthony said one day, 2 days ago. I tried to call him to have a conversation. I agree with him. I think if you want to, and I'm very much interested in doing it, setting up like I don't know whether it's a group or whatever,
Yeah, they called it a global movement, right?
Yes,
so
I'm 100% behind that because I've always talked about solution, right? Yes. We've been talking, and I hear you, Maegu. Yes. Okay, I hear you, and I would love to contribute in any way, shape, or form.
I know, John.
Okay, so if you ever get that rolling, right? Please just know that you have people.
I do. You've been part of almost everything on this platform as well. Generously too, you have. But from our own experience on this platform as well, a lot of people agreed that Mayegun's diary political can continue to be the melting pot. Okay, because the moment we lose this melting pot for something else, We don't know what that's going to be for the overall, what do you call it, the overall journey. But I am also very much willing. I have an idea of what people are saying. But once we begin to have people of like minds, people who actually have reasons, strong reason to sell to the world. We are all talking about David today. We don't want what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to happen to David before we begin to use hashtag. Do you get that? Yeah. So I ought to have other people too. But yeah, we have a reason to ensure.
I don't know, because I know you have one person waiting, right? Let me say that we should stop referring to any of these so-called governors or any of these people in politics as leaders. We don't have leaders. They are not anybody's heroes. They are just the only hero that I see here today is David. He's the only one. Maybe there are other people outside of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu who is incarcerated unjustly, right? But he's the only person other than that I know of who is willing to put his life on the line, right? To tell the world about the situation in our country, right? So if we're talking about heroes, he's the only hero right now. And we don't have leaders. Let us stop referring to them as leaders. They are not leaders. They're not leaders of anybody. Those people are criminals, pure and simple. And we should start referring to them as criminals because that is exactly what they are.
Thank you so much. I am so glad that you couldn't resist that. You were even driving, like you just couldn't resist. And I'm glad that you were able to.
I couldn't resist.
So please, drive safe and have a good one, ma'am. Okay. Good night there.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Charm, our own other queens in this house, and I kind of always love it when women, because they watch this program, and the statistics shows that substantial number of women and then females, by the way, watches this platform, and they do so religiously. So when we have a chance of bringing them or having them on the screen, sharing their views of this deep, rooted conversation about Nigeria, and they are also able to kind of use the feminist side, the motherly side, to let all of us know that if we care, then what do they do? You men, if women cares about what is wrong, then what you man they do? That's why I love to bring them on whenever they show face, okay? They are such priceless part of this platform. I don't know what happened to Princess. She changed her mind or something happened, but we are going to have her on this platform soon, even if I have to drag her out. Yeah? So, thank you, everyone. We've had the wonderful People's Parliament tonight. There's going to be another one another time. Now, the only way you get to really know what is really going on is if you subscribe to the channel. So my time is so gone, and I enjoy every bit of it tonight. I will see you again. Remember, you have a wonderful evening, and don't go without dropping your own offering. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun Diary political. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ̀lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.